matters. So, welcome into the Sportsocracy. It is a little bit delayed. We've got our technical issues with the Greenville studios all sorted out, and Jeremy Green is safe and sound and accounted for.
If you're watching the news later and you hear a story about a large nude man screaming obscenities in downtown Greenville, hi.
Don't be nude.
I don't know
you
why
don't have
I want
to take
to
your
be,
clothes off
but I
for
feel
that.
like I should be.
That's weird. That's a weird thing that you might want to talk to somebody about.
Probably. I mean, a good therapist. I believe a good therapist would probably have a lot of things to say about that.
More than likely. So national championship last night. That's all in the books. We can turn our full focus of the spring over to football. The NFL draft. The 2026 NFL draft coming up in Pittsburgh, and we will be there April 23rd through the 26th up in the Berg.
And
we
have finally confirmed that we will actually be there.
Well, that's good to know.
Don't you love when people, like, they look at you and they go, you do such a good job that we want to be, involved. And then they touch things and you go, but for why did you do that?
But why did you do that?
But for why? I believe I had this handled.
Hey, look, we hit a wall, we tear it down. That's how we're that's how we're going. We're just going to keep on plugging through.
Yeah. We're doing stuff.
Yes.
I think everything technological that I have touched, I have 4 monitors on my desk right now. One of them is actively working. There are so many cords on this desk that I don't know. I have the biggest desk in the history of desks, and 2 things on this desk currently work.
Red C's already throwing shots in the chat. He says, one job.
Look, you are correct. One person did have one job. However, that person is not currently on this screen. So, when I see them, I'll relay your message.
Indeed. Today on the program, A+ mock drafts. It's the AFC South. Is there anything else we need to talk about before we get into the A+ mock drafts?
I really don't want to talk about any more basketball.
No,
which worked nicely that we let Michigan grad Rich Eisen talk.
Sure.
He just waxed poetic, which it was beautiful. It was a beautiful sentiment of his knowledge and know-how of Michigan basketball.
Yep.
Appreciate that. Glad it happened. Glad it wasn't me saying it.
Yeah, it worked out well. So now we just get to hone in on the AFC South.
We do have a couple things to get to before we get to the AFC South.
Okay.
There's one large story that, we were not on at the end of last week between Easter, a Braves game. There were a couple things that took us off the air. We have not had the ability to talk about, one, Jalen Hurts and the crossroads that he and the Philadelphia Eagles are at.
Okay.
Have you read the story from Tim McManus and Jeremy Fowler?
I have not seen that. What's the deal?
Basically, it's that the Eagles and Jalen Hurts are at odds with each other.
Okay.
Jalen feels like he deserves more control. Philadelphia's looking at him going, or not.
Nah, dog.
Or not.
I gave you $51 million. You lucky you're getting that. Am I wrong? Come on.
This was a huge story at the end of last week.
Right.
And everybody, and I'm not trying to throw shade at anybody that reported this, everybody felt like they were breaking Watergate. Did anybody with an IQ above salad dressing honestly think that Philadelphia and Jalen Hurts just looked at each other and went, we're best good friends? This is awesome. I'm so glad you make this much money, and we're so glad you're our quarterback. Did you really believe that? That's an honest-to-God question. Did anybody actually believe that?
I can't imagine.
I can't either. And I read the entire story about there were some issues with play calling between Patullo and Nick Sirianni, and there were some issues that Jalen Hurts was having too much say in the offense. I believe we already knew that. If you didn't know that, all you had to do was watch the 2025 Philadelphia Eagles, and you would see it pretty quick.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Patullo got the blame for all of that, which, I mean, obviously you kind of have to, right? That's your job. If you're giving up too much freedom to your quarterback, that's a bad thing, and that's something that you should know. Jalen wants more say. Well, we're not doing well. Maybe when we do better, you can have more say. Am I looking at that wrong? Because that's kind of how I feel. Our offense was putrid last year compared to what it was a year ago.
Well, I mean, I just think it's funny that there are often times that an issue with an offense or an issue with an NFL team cannot be quantified numerically. Mm-hmm. The issue with the Philadelphia Eagles can 100% be quantified numerically, and let me give it a go. Shall I?
Sure.
In the last 4 years, how many times has Jalen Hurts been a good or better NFL quarterback? Of the last 4 seasons, how many of those seasons would you say Jalen Hurts was a positive to the Philadelphia Eagles?
I would say twice.
And those years would be 2022 and 2024. Fact or fiction?
Okay. Yeah.
Do you know what those 2 years have in common?
What's that?
Jalen Hurts averaged almost a full yard per completion, more than he did in the other two.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know why? Because he threw the ball less. The Philadelphia Eagles, to me, are the easiest thing in the world to fix. I mean, I hate to go full sling blade, but I look at that offense and go, it ain't got no gas in it. This is not hard. Mm-hmm. That is a team that is predicated on running the ball, and we throw when we can take shots. We don't throw it 538 times a game like you did in his 15 interception season in 2023. Mm-hmm. It's a bad idea. It's not going to go well. You don't throw it 460 times in 15 games the way you did in 2022. Because Jalen Hurts is a limited quarterback, as we have been saying, for as long as I can remember. It blows my mind how many people don't get this. Every quarterback that makes it to the NFL short of Josh Rosen and Jamarcus Russell and Ryan Leaf when he was in the throes of whatever he was dealing with. Mm-hmm. Every quarterback in the NFL that gets to this point can be successful if you put them in the right situation. That doesn't mean they're good NFL quarterbacks. We've had this discussion so many times that it feels borderline redundant to me. Mm-hmm. There are a handful of elite quarterbacks in this league. It doesn't matter what's around them. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. They will be somewhere between good and elite no matter what is there. Those quarterbacks are Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, and Matthew Stafford. Did I miss one?
No.
Because I don't think I did.
No.
Joe Burrow needs an offensive line. He would be the fifth in line there.
Yeah, I would agree.
Now, I think the offensive line got better last year. He was just already hurt.
It's also the fact that he gets hurt all the time.
He does get hurt a lot. He also gets hit a lot. Mm-hmm. You know, it's kind of like looking at a boxer going, hey, you get knocked out a lot. Well, I only have one hand. So, yes, I can throw a whale of a right. But I really struggle to defend my face because I can only cover half of it.
Joe Burrow's at the top of that next tier, like at the very tippy top.
I think he is a next tier all to his lonesome.
Oh, okay.
Because I can't quantify him with anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
There is no one else in this league that I can put in the same category. Do you have another quarterback you can put in that category? I want to put Jaden Daniels there, but I think it's early.
Yeah. I want to say him and Herbert and
Drake May.
Drake May. I'm getting close on Trevor. I'm getting close on putting Trevor up in that category.
I see. To me, that's
but I
the
think
next tier
Jalen belongs
of,
in that category.
I don't. I think we're 2 full tiers away from Jalen Hurts.
Wow. Okay.
Because I just don't think he's that good. I've never thought he was that good. I've never waffled on this, and I probably never will.
Mm-hmm.
But he won a Super Bowl. So did Joe Flacco. I don't care that he had 1 year where everything lined up. And people will say Sam Darnold belongs in that tier too. Well, you know, it's funny you say that because I'd put him in the same tier.
Yeah.
I think Sam's significantly better.
I mean, the dude has played in 2 Super Bowls. He won one of them, of which he was the MVP because he played real well in that game, in that Super Bowl.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not a Jalen Hurts defender, but I just don't. I don't know. I like I say, I don't think I agree. I feel like he's at the bottom of that next tier.
I would agree with that.
It's a wide tier, but
no, it's a wide
you know,
tier because it encompasses Baker Mayfield, it encompasses Sam Darnold, it encompasses Jalen Hurts, Caleb Williams.
Didn't even mention Sam, and Sam should definitely be in that tier now.
For sure, because if everything is right, you can be a high-end to borderline elite quarterback. Mm-hmm. The problem is when one thing goes wrong, everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen with elite quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. I mean, is anybody shocked? Is anybody shocked that the Philadelphia Eagles are having personnel issues? Some people are a little cantankerous. I mean, A.J. Brown's been ticked off for 2 years now.
And ask yourself this question: why? Why is A.J. Brown upset? That's I've thought this was funny for quite some time.
Because of all of the screwery that's going on. I mean, the way that they're talking here, there were 3 dudes in on every offensive meeting going, well, here's my plan, here's my plan, and here's my plan. Right? Mm-hmm. Sirianni had his plan, Patullo had his plan, and Jalen apparently had his own plan.
Well, and Jalen had the ability to basically just check off to anything. And Justin Parton said it in our YouTube chat. He was changing plays to 4 verts like he was playing Madden,
which is dumb.
Which is insane.
Which why do you give him the ability to do that? Right? I just don't.
I mean, you know the answer to your own question. You answered it yourself. Because he won a Super Bowl, and everybody thinks that is the end-all, be-all.
And they paid him $51 million.
Yeah, you paid him like he's an elite quarterback. You told him he was an elite quarterback. He's got a Super Bowl ring, and everybody treats him like he's elite. The problem is he's not. There is nothing more dangerous in this world than a 4 that thinks they're an 8. I don't care what business you work in, what area of the world you're in. You find me a 4 that thinks they're an 8, and I will show you a slew of problems.
Yes.
What I want is the 8 that thinks they're a 6. That's the best there is in the world. That's Drake May. Drake May is the 8 that thinks he's a 6, and he acts like a 6.
Right.
That's what I want. Now, the reason that this got stuck in my head today is because I've been talking about Fernando Mendoza for about 36 hours, and I keep coming to this thought of, is there a possibility that he's an 8 that acts like a 6? Is that in the range of possibilities?
I think that absolutely is. I've told you, like, there's something about the kid, and yes, I'd poke fun at the way he talks and all of his mannerisms and things, that it's out of love. We make fun of you because we love you, right? That we're all boys here. That's what we're doing. But Fernando, I've always felt like there's a way that he goes about his business that he could end up being the most cerebral dude that we've seen since Tom Brady. Just because, I mean, the way he was able to operate in college, if he can replicate that in the NFL, and be spectacular at times, but just be on time. I mean, Brock Purdy's made a lot of money doing a facsimile of that. Do you think that he could be better than Brock Purdy?
Yes.
I do. I think he could be. Yeah, I mean, not right away, but the kid, he may. I mean, who knows? I think there is a possibility that he's an 8 who thinks he's a 6. He may be an 8 who thinks he's a 3. The kid is very humble.
He's an 8 that he gave his word to stop at 3 third base. Teen Abstinence Day 1999.
Yes. You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. And barring any more technical difficulties, we will return after these short messages.
This is Braves country, where history lives.
And we're clear.
I don't want to touch anything.
And now,
I'm scared to touch anything.
I'm scared.
I'm scared the whole
Atlanta Braves are
back. There's not even any
Deep right
field.
It's screwery.
I couldn't even do a YouTube show
Acuna,
last
Harris,
night
and
because
Riley,
somebody took all of
Albies,
my cords
Olsen, and
out of the
Baldwin,
studio. Yes, I
chopping
know
toward
who it was.
another playoff
Yes, I know who
run.
it
The
was.
Mountain's home for Braves baseball is ESPN Asheville.
I'll punch you in the mouth.
Yes, I know who it was.
Some people won't give you the real talk on drugs, but it's time we know the facts. Fentanyl is killing people. It's a powerful opioid, often made illegal.
Yeah, Workman's figured it out. He's a 7 who thinks he's a 4, but he plays like an 8.
Prescription medications. Just 2 milligrams, about the size of a few grains of sand, can potentially be lethal. This isn't an ad to scare you, but it is an
We're
ad
not
to
on.
make you think twice. Get the facts. Go to realdealonfentanyl.com.
Nothing works.
This message
Why
is brought to you by
does
the
nothing
Ad
work?
Council.
Who knows?
I'm Daniela
Why did it
Alarcon.
randomly
I'm
start
John
working?
Green, co-host of the
Who knows?
podcast The Away
I
End
don't.
with my old friend Daniel.
I remember the first time I took my oldest son to an actual live soccer game, and when you step out through the concourse and you can see the field, he did like that, like a sharp intake of breath, and he said, "This is so unusual for my eyes."
Oh, I love that.
Together, we'll find out why, of all the unimportant things, football, soccer, is the most important.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search The Away End with Daniel Alarcon and John Green, and listen now.
To some, a baby's babbling doesn't mean much, but it does. Especially if there's no babbling at all. Little to no babbling by 12 months or later is just one of the possible signs of autism in children. Learn more at autismspeaks.org. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville.
You just want me to smush these together?
Customers and the community that we serve to do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
You might not know this, but at the Ingalls Bakery, we actually bake things. Like crusty breads, delicious apple fritters, cakes for any occasion. And did we mention the cookies? It's all in the bag. Ingalls. Low prices. Love the savings.
Clarissa sells WNC as the #1 team in Buncombe County. We have the customer service experience to assist you in achieving your real estate goals. Our team offers something that 90% of listings in our market won't have, Zillow Showcase. Check us out at clarissasellswnc.com.
I'm Coley Duffy.
I'm Cody Ward.
And
we're the Chainsaw Brothers.
Actually, we're cousins. A few days after Helene, we was in the driveway having a couple beers, waiting on the power to come back on. And we heard so many people calling, needing trees removed, and couldn't afford it.
So I called my dad to borrow a chainsaw, and over the next few months, we cleared trees for our neighbors. Our business was born out of wanting to help Western North Carolina get back on our feet.
We are fully insured and licensed. We keep our promises, meaning if we say we're going to be there, we'll be there. In these parts,
I just
we
had a
live how we
Master's
were raised.
quesadilla show up for lunch.
Chainsaw Brothers, you're not a customer, you're family. We're good at what we do, and we do it for a reasonable cost.
For all your chainsaw,
That sounds lovely.
28.
Is it pimento cheese?
Mm-hmm.
Or find us on Facebook. See how we treat our
Fried
family.
chicken, pimento
And still
cheese,
covered
and
up with storm
jalapenos.
damage and
Are you kidding me? What?
I'm about to tell you how good it is.
That's 8,
Come on.
6, 10, 13.
With
We're the
Chipotle
Chainsaw
aioli.
Who did that?
We're Western North Carolina strong.
ESPN Asheville. Your mountain weather forecast.
I know nobody packed away the sweaters and the heavier jackets, or at least the long sleeve shirts, right? As the chilly air.
Where does one find such a thing?
See, a 3 is that first number on the car
There's a little
thermometer.
Mexican
Today,
restaurant.
65 for this afternoon. Tonight,
Right down
mainly
the
clear in
street.
the
Holy crap, that's
mid-30s.
hot.
Some spots colder with some patchy frost early Wednesday. Then sunny Wednesday afternoon.
You get fried chicken, pimento cheese quesadilla at the Mexican place. That's cool.
and sunshine 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray
With
Staples.
This report is sponsored by Choose one of Wendy's new Biggie deals.
It's gonna be the
At
highlight of my
$4,
day.
$6,
And I
and
already know it.
$8. Pick one of the new Biggie deals you're craving. For a
Holy
pretty Biggie
crap,
deal,
that's hot.
gotta be Wendy's. U.S. price and participation may vary.
Voters are listening to the radio, and they're really listening. If you're running for office, radio gets your message heard, not scrolled past. Reach communities everywhere and be on the air in just 48 hours. Go to winwithiheart.com. That's winwithiheart.com.
Spring is in the air, and Alev's long-lasting pain relief is here to keep you moving. The days are longer, and the flowers are blooming. Whether it's gardening, yard work, or just spending...
We're just jumping into the mock.
Keeping us moving despite any body pain. That's where Aleve can keep you going. With just one dose, Aleve gives you long-lasting body pain relief for up to 12 hours. From sunup to sundown.
I think he's having a religious experience.
I had something else to talk about. I forgot what it
Uses
was.
directed for minor aches and pains.
Got something to say?
Love you.
Well, just tap the red talkback mic on the free iHeartRadio app. Let's go. Requests,
No, we need to
contests,
start the
or
mock
just
in
to
the next
say
hour.
hi.
Hey, this is...
Okay.
Air fast.
I got the windows rolled down, the moonroof open.
Open the iHeartRadio app and try it now.
Over 50,000 police officers are assaulted
Do you
each
have your
year.
outside
Help
story?
police by not escalating. Address any complaints after the encounter. Comply now. Complain later. Keep everybody safe. This message brought to you by the National Police Association. Learn more at nationalpolice.org.
Champions don't disappear. They reload. And the 2026 Atlanta Braves are ready.
Chopping toward another playoff run. The Mountains home for Braves baseball, ESPN Asheville. Brought to you by Parks Ford of Hendersonville.
Selling your home? Don't settle for average. Our real estate team at Clarissa Sells WNC and EXP
Yeah, we'll
Realty
do it outside
offers
and then talk about Kyle
Zillow
Pitts.
Okay.
Howard listing experience available to just the top 10% of all listings in our area. With immersive media, cutting-edge design, and elevated marketing, Showcase listings, they go pending quicker and sell for up to $9,000 more than standard listings. Ready to stand out in a crowded market? Give our team a call today, 828-774-6343, because your home deserves the spotlight.
The crack of the bat, the sight of green grass and white chalk lines, the aroma of perfectly grilled hot dogs. If right about now you're simultaneously hungry and ready for baseball, then we've got you covered. At Ingles, we're here for all the fanfare of America's pastime, sponsoring teams from Little League to the pros. So, whether you're the snack parent or just craving that perfect ballpark meal, we've got you covered. Ingles, your official sponsor of baseball season.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our value of urgency, timely, responsive, focused, prioritizing you as our customer and the community that we serve to do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
Boy, you must be outside your mind.
The Sportsocracy.
Just a bit outside. He tried the corner and missed.
It is ESPN Asheville. This is the Sportsocracy. Time to get just a bit outside, and we're already there. Apparently, 162 game season and 10 games in, the massive call for John Henry to sell the Red Sox has already started. This is why I just love sports in general, just because it never stops. The drama never stops, from the NFL going all year round to the April draft, all the way to OTAs and all the summer activity. And you start out 2-8. What are you gonna do? Just sell the damn team. 10 games in, we're done.
Well,
done
I mean, you'll
with this
play
crap.
the other 152 games you have in the season. Your fan base is bipolar.
It's crazy. It's great. Well, I mean, no. I mean, it's the standard. You demand winning, and we are the Red Sox. We feel like we should be winning, and we're not winning. I mean, this is a little crazy to me to go 10 games into the season. I mean, I tell you, man, my dad has been talking about spring training baseball for a month and a half. Like, he'll call me and just say, hey, did you see that we beat the Twins today 5-2? I don't even kind of care. It doesn't mean anything. You're just spring training games. These don't even count. I don't start caring until we're at least 40 games in. Anyway, To me, it's hilarious. Just sell it.
I stopped caring in 2001 and never started again.
Never kicked it back up again.
So I have two outside stories because I can't decide which one of these I want to tell more.
All right.
The first one's not even really a story. It's just me asking the question, why do we start NCAA championship games at 9 o'clock at night?
No clue.
Can anybody explain that to me?
The West Coast, to get the West Coast.
So Richmond Weaver,
the only reason.
One of my coworkers down here in Greenville, he and I were talking this morning. Did you realize, I'm assuming you did not stay up to see the end of the game last night?
I did not.
Okay. Do you know what time they played One Shining Moment?
I will guess 12:03.
12:01.
Ooh.
Do you know what else happened at 12:01 this morning?
What's that?
The transfer portal opened. They started One Shining Moment the second the transfer portal opened.
That's good.
I did not really realize that until he pointed it out to me.
That was very fitting.
That made me laugh a lot. Now, I say that to ask this. Do you know what percentage of people in the United States live in the Eastern time zone? I did not know this until I found it out live on radio last night.
67%.
It's 48.
Okay.
Almost half of Americans live in the Eastern time zone. What percentage live in the Central time zone?
23.
33.
Okay.
I don't know how good I don't know how good at
It's adding up.
arithmetic you are, but if you add those percentages together, you get 81% of the country lives in either the Eastern or Central time zone.
Central, yeah.
Why do we tip these games off so late? Oh, we got to get the West Coast in. That's 16% of the population. 16%. That's it.
Yep.
Apparently, nobody lives in the mountain, which makes it make sense. It's Denver and nothing else.
Sure. Yeah. All Colorado, Wyoming. That's a lot of farmland out in that area.
Yes.
You not watch Yellowstone?
It's the Duttons in Denver. That's all that lives in the mountain time zone.
Right. Yeah, you got that whole strip where nothing. I mean, it's just desert to mountains.
Well, I mean, and most of them have been voting one way for the last 20 years, so most of them don't have jobs anyway. So it's not like they got to get off work. I mean,
good.
I mean, the surf's going out, broski. I think if you want to watch it, you'll find a way.
Yeah, no, thank you. I didn't see any of it last night.
A lot of people didn't. I think the number is going to be way worse than you think.
No, because I think it could be pretty low. I don't know. Michigan and UConn, is that how much sizzle does that have across the country?
Well, the media has a lot, so they're talking about it a lot today. I'll pass.
Yeah.
It was on in the room I was sitting in last night. That's about the extent. I couldn't tell you virtually anything that happened.
Mm-hmm.
I know I did at one point ask, "Oh my, they can't seriously do this again." And then Michigan turned it over a second time in a row. I went, "Oh my God, UConn's going to find a way to do this again," and win a game that they have absolutely no reason to have won.
But they did not. And when I woke up this morning, I got quite the little chuckle when I saw that Elliot Cadeau was the MOP.
Did you also get a chuckle from Michigan rebounded that last miss by UConn with 10 seconds left? UConn didn't foul, and it cost every Michigan better because one made free throw would have covered.
Oh, no.
Never tempt Vegas. Vegas knows what it's talking about.
Yeah,
I have another little aside that I do have to tell.
Okay.
Did you see that Mike Krzyzewski was on the Pat McAfee show yesterday?
No, I did not.
He was on the Pat McAfee show when the news came out that North Carolina was hiring Michael Malone.
Okay.
Would you like to guess what his reaction was?
Let me guess. He was very radish.
He said, "Is that real?" McAfee and his cohorts started discussing how Carolina was going to start smacking Duke around again because they hired an NBA champion to be their head coach.
Yeah.
His response, well, they had an NFL champion as their head coach in college football, and Duke beat them in football. So,
Yep.
I'm not
that's
a
kind of the
Krzyzewski
reaction
guy.
I would expect.
I'm not a Krzyzewski guy at all. I mean, I respect him, hated him with every fiber of my being. That's a pretty good response. Off the cuff, that was a pretty good response.
That's a great response. He's a witty man.
He is a he is a itty witty man.
Yes, he is.
Itty witty bitty.
All right, so Kyle Pitts is signing his franchise tender. You wanted to talk about that?
Is there any chance that this actually works? I mean, I feel like Kyle Pitts is the great Sasquatch of the NFL.
Okay.
You know, we talked about the NFC South yesterday, and I got it in my head that, the team that I really just buried was Atlanta. Because I did say I could see New Orleans winning this division because I think that the arrow is trending most upward for them.
Yes.
I think Carolina's the best team in the division. And Tampa Bay, I could see them winning the division solely because, well, that's the way Todd Bowles doesn't get fired. I completely left out Atlanta, and it got in my head. And I started thinking, am I undervaluing this team? Or is Kevin Stefanski and just this group that they have, are they destined to be exactly what the Falcons have been over the course of the last, I don't know, my lifetime?
Well, obviously, history would say yes. Yes, they are. Because they're the Atlanta Falcons, and they typically always find a way. And even when they are successful, they'll find a way to let you down, whether it be in a NFC championship game or whether it be in the Super Bowl. They tend to find a way to just falcon that thing right up. Now, I like Kevin Stefanski, and I think he has a lot of good pieces that he could work with. His offense is going to work. He needs to have a quarterback to work it. That's the big bugaboo. Do you have someone to be able to use the pieces? Right? Bijan Robinson's not a problem. We know he's going to run the ball. Kevin Stefanski loves to run the ball. He wishes he had a running back like Bijan Robinson when he was in Cleveland. Kyle Pitts, he's a usable piece, right? David Njoku was a usable piece. Very impactful piece for the Cleveland Browns. Do you have a quarterback good enough? Because that's going to end up being your downfall.
I just find it funny. And look, I liked the Stefanski hire for Atlanta. I do find it funny. Do you know how many times he's ever had an offense finish in the top 10 in points?
I'll say once.
It was once, and he was the OC, not the head coach.
Okay.
You know how many times they've ever finished in the top 10 of yards?
Twice.
It's never happened.
Okay.
And yet we do talk about Kevin Stefanski, and we have this belief in him like, oh, it's going to be different this time. But why is it going to be different? What has he ever tangibly done? And then I saw the Kyle Pitts thing,
other than
it got stuck in my head.
Right. Other than get the worst franchise in the league to the playoffs. I mean, he did do that. I know it's not a great big deal.
It's not a great big deal because literally almost half the league makes the playoffs. Outside of the New York Jets, making the playoffs does not really mean all that much.
It just means more when you take a crappy franchise to the playoffs. Right? You turn around and we'll use Clint Kubiak as the example. Clint Kubiak gets the Vegas Raiders to the playoffs. That's a big deal. Now, if he only does it once in the next 8 years, okay, we may have a problem. We may not look at you. I mean, we may look at you like we look at Kevin Stefanski. I mean, do we really puff up Kevin Stefanski all that much?
I mean, I feel like that was
he's a good
universal. I
coach.
mean, even by us, we liked that hire mainly because we didn't like a lot of the other choices.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, as we say, he's a respected coach who, I mean, he did have the stink of Cleveland on him. I mean, it's not that much better down in Atlanta, but it's a little better, isn't it?
It's better for sure. I mean, I've been to 2 Super Bowls in my lifetime. I'm not sure that the Cleveland Browns have had a quarterback that could spell Super Bowl.
Right.
And that leads me to the point of why I wanted to bring this up. Did you happen to hear what your head coach said about Baker Mayfield and Kevin Stefanski yesterday?
Oh, dear. No. What did he say?
I'm going to read the quote.
Okay.
He was asked about the beef between Kevin Stefanski and Baker Mayfield. He said, I think that's something they have to figure out from that standpoint, since we can't have a boxing match where they get in the ring with each other and knock each other out. First of all, we could, and it would be the most unimpressive boxing match of all time, and I don't think I want to see anything less in my life. We're going to back our guy Baker. I'm sure they're going to back their coach as well. It's a division game, so it's already going to be a tough-fought, hard-fought game. So it just adds to it. Does it, though? Is that the most absolutely stupid, inconsequential feud in the history of the NFL?
Yes.
Have there ever been 2 people that have done less and their feud has been more talked about?
Well, I mean, this is the first time I'm hearing of the feud. So
you didn't hear about Baker saying, can't wait to see you twice a year, coach, after you threw me out like a piece of garbage. You were, though. And then 2 other teams did the exact same thing.
Sure. But, I mean, it's just a natural reaction, isn't it? I mean, look, if something happened that we got split up and then we were going head-to-head against each other, I mean, don't you think there would be some of that in the, like, see you in the ratings book, dude, whatever. Like,
yeah, but it would be said more in jest.
Well, I mean, do you think Baker's really just ticked off? Because I don't know. I don't know that he is.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, and maybe this is just I'm a different person. You could excrement on my desk, and I would walk away from that and go, I probably earned that. I understand how he got
talking
there.
Smack. That's what you do, I don't know that there's like anything to it, because who really cares?
Well,
as you said,
that's the thing. Is that media members seem to think we care.
Right. I mean, look, when Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers went to face Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots, I got that. Right? That was a storyline. That was a cool story. This, not so much. I don't care. Like, was there ever a discussion last year of when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers played the Carolina Panthers? Did it become a sub storyline that Baker Mayfield was going to try to get back at Dave Canales or something? Like, I don't think it was.
I read this.
Maybe I'm off.
I read this morning laying in bed, and maybe it was because I watched Monday Night Raw last night. That's the beauty of when I come down here, I have a place that I stay in across the street from the station.
Right.
So I leave the station. It's a little studio right here in downtown. Nice TV, big bed, little fireplace. Nice and cozy. Mm-hmm. So I, being the inquisitive like that I am, I threw on Monday Night Raw. I woke up this morning. This was the first thing I saw was that Todd Bowles says Kevin Stefanski and Baker Mayfield need to figure out their beef. The only thing I could think about was this feels like the WWE back in the day trying to do a hype package for a match between Mabel and Viscera. Like, nobody cares. You can hype this up any way you want to. It means less than nothing.
It's the rematch. The grudge match between Gangrel and Test.
And Christian. Nobody cares. By the way, Mabel and Viscera, same person. I was thinking Viscera and Midian.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Sure. I didn't even catch it.
I'll be honest with you. I had to think about it for a minute. I went, wait a minute. I said the names wrong here. I could have gone with their first names, which were, let's see, Mabel and Phineas Godwin. That was his first character.
Godwin.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was Phineas I. Godwin. His initials spelled pig. They were pig farmers. It was Henry O. Godwin and Phineas I. Godwin. Hog and pig. That's one of those I look
Why
back
do I
at.
not remember this?
I think about that one from time to time and go, Vince McMahon wrote this down and somebody went, yeah, boss, another A. Crushed it.
Hog and pig.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember that at all. Wow.
Just Jeff works down here. He's a big WWE guy. And for some reason, every time I get down here, I get really into the Attitude Era. We talk about more things that happened in 1999 than you can shake a stick at.
See, this is where you need to sit down and do it on a podcast.
No doubt.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. So coming up in the next hour, since we've sufficiently wasted the time here talking about Phineas I. Godwin, we'll do A+ mock drafts.
I guarantee you. Look, I know you just made fun of that. I guarantee you somebody listening just went, oh, my God, I did not realize that those two people were the same guy. And then that guy did all the drugs. I mean, all of them. Like, he'd just go to a party and go, what you got? Yes. Ian, check. Will attend. Me and guest.
AFC, A+ mock drafts coming up. We will start at we start at the top of the league, bottom of the league? How did we do that yesterday?
Oh, we started at the top yesterday.
Started at the top. All right. So we'll start at the top of the AFC South. A+ mock drafts on the way next here on ESPN Asheville.
ESPN Asheville.
And we're clear.
I know nobody packed away the sweaters and the heavier jackets, or at least the long sleeve shirts, right? As the chilly air sticking around the next several mornings. Probably going to see a 3 as that first number on the car thermometer. Today, 65 for this afternoon. Tonight, mainly clear in the mid-30s. Some spots colder with some patchy frost early Wednesday. Then sunny Wednesday afternoon, low 60s. Thursday, sunshine, 30s again in the morning, upper 60s in the afternoon. Friday, a little patchy frost early, then sunshine, 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stage.
This report is sponsored by Burger King. Burger King has been working on the Whopper, and thanks to you, it's never tasted better. Flame grilled beef, crisp produce, and a perfectly toasted bun. Whether it's been weeks or years, come try the Whopper again for only $3.99 on Whopper Wednesday. Terms apply. Visit bk.com/terms.
Who makes it years without
Friends
eating
and
a
family
Whopper?
are often the first to notice when a veteran needs help. In those moments, life can...
I don't want to know that person.
Or, like they are caught in a storm they can't escape. And the metaphors veterans often use for the challenges of life are not exaggerations.
I got you.
Extending a helping hand doesn't have to be just another metaphor. Learn how you can support the veteran in your life at MakeTheConnection.net.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/beat. That's ethos.com/beat.
Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Pros, if something runs out on the job, order it on the Lowe's app. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members get free same-day delivery on eligible orders over $25. Order by 2 p.m. and get eligible in-stock items delivered to your job site by 8 p.m. See terms at Lowe's.com/shipping terms, subject to change.
At Ingalls, we know that fresh means local.
Hey.
Ingredients don't come from a world away. They yard. From the farms we support, to the stores we love, to the tables you treasure. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
Clarissa sells WNC as the #1 team in Buncombe County. We have the customer service experience to assist you in achieving your real estate goals. Our team offers something that 90% of listings in our market won't have, Zillow Showcase. Check us out at clarissasellswnc.com.
I'm Coley Duffy.
I'm Cody Ward.
And
we're the Chainsaw Brothers.
Actually, we're cousins. A few days after Helene, we was in the driveway having a couple beers, waiting on the power to come back on. And we heard so many people calling, needing trees removed, and couldn't afford it.
So I called my dad to borrow a chainsaw, and over the next few months, we cleared trees for our neighbors. Our business was born out of wanting to help Western North Carolina get back on our feet.
We are fully insured and licensed. We keep our promises, meaning if we say we're going to be there, we'll be there. In these parts, we live how we were raised.
When you call the Chainsaw Brothers, you're not a customer, you're family. We're good at what we do, and we do it for a reasonable cost.
For all your chainsaw needs, call the Chainsaw Brothers. 828-316-1013. Or find us on Facebook. See how we treat our family.
Are you still covered up with storm damage and debris?
Call us about our daily rates at 828-316-1013. That's 828-316-1013. We're the Chainsaw Brothers, and with our neighbors, we are Western North Carolina strong.
Woohoo!
At Ingalls, we celebrate the amazing women who show the world exactly what it means to throw like a girl, hit like a girl, play like a girl, and dream like a girl. Ingalls, we're with you every step of the way.
Champions don't disappear. They reload. And the 2026 Atlanta Braves are ready.
Chopping toward another playoff run. The Mountain's home for Braves baseball, ESPN Asheville. Brought to you by Parks Ford of Hendersonville.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
The 2026 general election is coming fast, and WWNC wants to talk about it. Join First News on 570's Mark Starling and Tank Spencer for Politics and Pints. April 16th at Cultivated Cocktails in Asheville with former District 11 Republican Chair Michelle Woodhouse, former Democratic Chair Matt Ballas, Western Carolina's Dr. Chris Cooper, and Dr. Andy Jackson from the John Locke Foundation. April 16th, 6:30 to 8:30 at Cultivated Cocktails. Don't miss it.
The impact of a meal goes well beyond feeding our bodies, because when people don't have to worry about where their next meal is coming from, they can truly thrive, like Marta.
And now we'll hear from our class valedictorian, who with our hard work never ceases to amaze us. Please welcome Marta Moreno.
And Alex.
Hey, Alex, how did the interview go?
I did it! I got the job! I can't believe it!
I knew it. Let's meet up later to celebrate.
And Diego.
Mom! I got first place at the science fair with my volcano project.
That's amazing, sweetie. Congratulations.
Because when people are fed, futures are nourished, and everyone deserves to live a full life. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow. feedingamerica.org/actnow. A public service announcement brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council. Selling your home? Don't settle for average. Our real estate team at Clarissa Sells WNC and eXp Realty offers Zillow Showcase, an exclusive AI-powered listing experience available to just the top 10% of all listings in our area. With immersive media, cutting-edge design, and elevated marketing, Showcase listings, they go pending quicker and sell for up to $9,000 more than standard listings. Ready to stand out in a crowded market? Give our team a call today, 828-774-6343.
This quesadilla may be the single greatest thing I've ever put in my mouth.
Because you're in Spotlight.
ESPN Asheville.
Yeah.
WPEK Fairview. WMXF Waynesville. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human. The Sportsocracy.
It fires me up, man. I love it. Say it one more time.
The Sportsocracy.
Shake it back!
Beer City's best sports talk.
It is gross.
Just earlier.
They are mature, actually. You just have to
get to know them better.
Your lunchtime dose of dumbassery, live from the Ingalls studio.
And welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Seen everywhere on YouTube. Let's go to the sportsocracy.com. Click the live video link. Subscribe to the channel. Join us in the chat. It is time for A-plus mock drafts. Our second episode of A-plus mock drafts. As...
There is something that we have to get to first because we have breaking news.
Uh-oh. Nope. There you go. One job.
Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news? Who's gonna break the news?
Mm-hmm.
A fried chicken, pimento cheese, jalapeno quesadilla is the greatest thing you will ever put in your mouth.
Why?
It is.
Why did I think that was going to be actual news?
Because it never was going to be.
So you got the Masters special from where?
Cantina 76 in downtown Greenville.
Cantina 76.
Yeah, it's available for the next 2 weeks on both sides of the Masters, and I cannot recommend it aggressively enough.
Nice.
First of all, pimento cheese might be the most slept-on food on earth.
Yes.
Because what's not to like? I don't even know what the hell a pimento is. I just know it's a little red thing that you put in cheese with mayonnaise and you eat it and it tastes like happiness.
It's like the pickled inside of an olive, isn't it?
I don't care. I don't care if it's the pickled inside of an armadillo. I don't care.
Or they put them inside olives, like for martinis and stuff.
Sure.
Those are pretty good.
But have you ever said, hey, I got to go to the store and get some pimentos?
I got to go pick some pimentos.
I got to go to the pimento garden.
Yeah.
Or is it a tree or? I'm going to have to ask a stupid question.
It might be a legume.
Where?
You never know.
I'm afraid of what I'm about to find out.
What is a pimento?
It's a heart-shaped sweet red pepper. Okay. I was really afraid. That's the heart of an armadillo. Okay.
What happened to the armadillo population?
It was the great armadillo. It was the great armadillo famine of 1999. Don't know, don't care. They're awesome.
Back when Granny was selling her pimento cheese for $60 an ounce.
It was in Prohibition.
My granny made some good pimento.
The pimento fields were barren. We were selling it in speakeasies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Prostitution was legal, but pimentos weren't.
The Palmetto pimento cheese, by the way. Ingalls Supermarkets, low prices. Love the savings. That's when life's going well. There's Palmetto pimento cheese in the fridge.
Also, just throwing this out there, anybody that makes coleslaw, throw jalapenos in it.
Mm-hmm.
Highly recommend, along with tomatoes. Highly recommend.
They make a jalapeno one. It's very tasty.
Oh, it's so good.
Yep. Found in your dairy section.
So if Tank at some point in the next, 2 hours asks me a question and I just don't answer, it's because this thing started talking to me and I tried to sneak a bite of it when I ought not have.
Oh, yeah. Getting in the Masters mood with the pimento cheese. A-plus mock drafts for the AFC South. Start at the top of the division last year. The champions, I don't think either of us predicted it. Jacksonville Jaguars. Never would have saw a 13-4 season. I'm not
going to lie to you. I did not see that coming.
No.
Matter of fact, I believe we were making fun of them at the draft for giving up their first-round pick next year.
Yes, we were. Because that one was also going to be a top 5 pick. Oh, wait. No, it wasn't. Liam Cohen and that offense had him moving. Now they lost Travis Achan to New Orleans Saints.
How big of a need do you think that is for Jacksonville?
I think it's a moderate need. I don't think it's a major need.
Okay, so explain that to me.
I don't know. I mean, I've never been a big fan of Chris Rodriguez or Who else is behind Byshell Tootin?
LaQuint Allen and DJ Dallas.
I mean, they're fine.
Can I ask you?
But
I've heard this so much.
Yeah.
I want to see how close you get. I'm going to ask you a series of questions about Byshell Tootin.
Okay.
How many carries did he have in 2025?
I don't know. 98.
You're too high.
Okay.
It's 83.
All right.
How many yards did he have?
Oh.
Should be able to do some simple math here because I told you how many carries he had. You should be able to figure this out pretty close.
Let's see. You said 83 carries. So, I don't know. We'll say average like 4 yards carry. Do the math. I can do that.
83 times 4 would be 336.
There you go.
You're too high. He's at 307. He averaged 3.7 yards a carry, and I swear to you, I have had people tell me Byshell Tootin is the next great running back in the NFL.
No.
And I'm not real sure where you're getting that. He had over 42 yards one time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he did have 51 rushing yards in the playoff game on 4 carries. Oh, great. He hit 120-yard run the entire year. But, Byshell Tootin. I'm sure he was a big pass game contributor, though. Yeah, he had 10 catches for 79 yards.
Right.
I don't know where this belief is coming from. Like, I don't get it. I didn't really like him all that much as a prospect anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And with Travis Etienne, I'm not calling you HN. You want to be called HN, you spell it like Devon does. Because that doesn't make. I mean, if the rules of letters don't mean anything anymore, cool. My name is Jeremy Green, spelled with a Z, an X, and a 7. There you go, Jeremy Green.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I think they need a running back personally.
But how high?
No, first, Mike Washington.
First?
If he's on the board, do it and don't ask questions.
Okay.
I mean, am I wrong in that? Because I don't think I am. You have nothing on this team of any substance whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And
As
I
far
would
as the
kill
running
for
backs.
somebody to explain to me how I'm wrong because I've watched Chris Rodriguez. If that's who you think the guy is, he's not. He's fine.
Mm-hmm. So Jacksonville's first pick is when?
Let's see. Their first pick's 56.
Oh, well, look at that. It just kind of lines up, right, doesn't it? I mean, isn't that where Mike Washington should go?
Look, this is an A-plus mock. This is best case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot see him falling past that. Because I feel like Jacksonville's in love with somebody. The problem with Jacksonville is that I've never really understood what they see in running backs.
Right.
There are certain positions with certain teams that I just don't understand. Because you like guys that I don't. For me, I would run this to the podium. I would ask Liam Cohen if he brought his track shoes to run this to the podium. And I know he's not there. I would make him run to Pittsburgh for letting Travis Etienne get to New Orleans.
Because who's in the market?
That's available?
Seattle? Seattle's in the market for a running back?
To me, Seattle and Jacksonville should be battling each other to the death. Which, by the way, and I want you to remember I said this, don't be shocked if Seattle, if they get stuck at 32, don't be shocked if they take Mike Washington Jr. right there.
That's what I was getting ready to say. I won't be shocked if that happens. If Mike Washington is the 32nd pick of this draft, or Seattle is able to swing a deal with, I don't know, Arizona. Say they're the one that wanted to get back into the first round for some reason. And then Seattle takes him there.
The one that I've been stuck on is New Orleans. Seattle winds up trading down to 42. They take Mike Washington Jr. at 42, and New Orleans has to get up to 32 to take Chris Bell. Didn't say they should, just said they may have to.
Yep, that could definitely happen in the game of dominoes. All right, so for the A-plus mock draft, we're saying pray to God that Mike Washington Jr. is on the board at 56.
Pray that Mike Washington Jr. is there, because there's not another running back in this class that I believe in at all.
At least
Nick Singleton, who's hurt.
I was going to say, at least not in the second round.
No, and I think Singleton probably belongs in the third.
Right.
The good thing is Jacksonville has about 243 picks in this class.
Mm-hmm. All right. So then, Jacksonville at 56 takes the running back. What need do they address with the next selection, 81?
Well, for me, running back and linebacker are the two biggest issues they have.
Well, you got to have a replacement for Devin Lloyd.
You're not going to find one in this class. I mean, best case scenario, Anthony Hill Jr., and the hope that you can carve him into what Devin Lloyd was. I don't think he'll ever be a coverage guy like that. I mean, I just don't ever see him having the impact like that.
Right. Are they in the market for Kyle Lewis or somebody like that?
Listen, to me, Luis will go before this. I don't really think he will be sitting there at 81.
Okay.
So it's either take Anthony Hill and pray, which is what I'm going to do, or take Keyshawn Elliott. Because I feel like you have to come out of this with a linebacker. And Keyshawn Elliott is absolutely such a liability in coverage that I feel like it's just grin and pray that Anthony Hill Jr. is sitting there at 81.
Okay. Or if you did Anthony Hill the round before and waited to see if, like, Nick Singleton was around for the third round.
Maybe. And you could, look, because I like Singleton if you can clear him on the medical.
Right.
But the foot is going to be a big deal to team doctors.
Right. And if you did this backwards, then that puts you back in the Kyle Lewis area, right?
You're in the vicinity, yeah.
So maybe that would be the priority at that point. Who knows? Okay. So 81, best case scenario is who?
I'll go Anthony Hill Jr.
Anthony Hill.
Best case is that he falls, nobody sees the high side in him, and your defensive guys think they can turn him into that.
Okay. Then at 88.
I feel like I, at the very least, addressed linebacker. I'll probably try to add another one. I feel like you've got to have something on the interior. And this is one of the best center drafts I've ever seen. So I'm going Jake Slaughter at 88.
Okay.
He is falling a little bit more than I expected. I knew that none of the centers would probably carry their rank because the class is so deep. Mm-hmm. So once one goes, you'll probably see 5 of them go within the next 20 selections. Slaughter seems to be the one that people have soured on. I'm not real sure why. He doesn't have the highest upside, but he certainly has the safest floor. Because he's not the hyper-athletic guy. He's a good football player.
Is he better than Robert Hainsey?
Yes. I mean, I think he displaces Hainsey right now.
Okay.
But I never saw that. You know, this is how I would do it. I can't tell you how Jacksonville's going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same team that thought it was a good idea to trade up with an extra first-round pick for Travis Hunter. And I'm not going to lie, there weren't many times last year that I went, yeah, that worked out great. Now, this year, I could change my tune.
Say this year could be a bit different. All right, so Slaughter at 88.
And I think that's a long-term – that's your center for a long time.
Okay. And then they have the last pick in the third round at 100.
This is where I think I can get maybe a little cute of just they have so many picks in this class. Who's the one that I go, you know what? I can take a swing. How good do you feel about the tight ends with the Jacksonville Jaguars?
I like Brenton Strange.
I like Brenton Strange. Is there another one on the team that...
There's not. I'll stop you right there. There's not.
I mean, I like Hunter Long. I've always liked Hunter Long.
Right.
But is there one that you... If you wanted to play 12 personnel, which if you could attest to this, when Liam Cohen was in Tampa Bay, they ran 2 tight ends a pretty decent amount.
Yes.
I mean, it wasn't, high of the league, but they did it quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Is it untoward to think you just take a shot at Michael Trigg here? The kid out of Baylor.
He's the blocker.
No, I think Brenton Strange is more of a... He can block. I need the toolsy, and I guess I'm using the way the roster was constructed last year as my guide, because this is what Hunter Long should be. Trigg is just an absolute on steroids version of it.
Okay.
I mean, yes, his drop rate is ridiculous. But, man, if that kid ever figures it out, he is going to be an absolute dog in this league.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the players that I look at the most and just go, you could be flipping hamburgers 3 years from now, or you could be a Pro Bowl tight end. And I'm not sure there is any in between.
It's either going to be one or the other.
Well, I mean, he was a 5-star recruit. And you saw little flashes of him being that guy. And then there would be extended periods where you go, do you even want to be here right now? Are they holding you against your will and making you do this? Do they have a family member? Have you ever met Liam Neeson? I think he could get you out of this.
Right. All right, what would they do in the 4th round, 124?
Well, this is I didn't have a good solution to this with the last pick, because I really kind of felt like this part of the draft had been picked apart. Mm-hmm. Now you get into the middle of, this is round 4, the middle to late part of round 4. There are a handful of defensive tackles that I really like, and the one that I'm stuck on is Zane Durant. Durant has every physical tool you could ever want. The tape's just super inconsistent. And I love the idea of putting him on the other side of Eric Armstead. And I know Jaguar fans are going to say, but Mason Smith. But what about him? Other than the fact he doesn't know how to spell his own name, he's not good at football. He wasn't good at football when you drafted him. And he's done nothing since. Mm-hmm. And I just think when I've got this many picks, I'm going to swing for the fences from time to time. And I think Zane Durant is a swing for the fences. And this is where I think he belongs. I've heard him much higher than this, and I just don't necessarily think that fits.
Okay. All right. Zane Durant at 124. And then Jacksonville picks again down at 164.
This is where we can go a little bit speed round.
All right.
Diego Pounds, offensive tackle out of Ole Miss. I feel like Jacksonville needs another bullet in the gun.
Pons, isn't it?
It's spelled Pounds. Okay, you know my rule on this.
Yeah.
If we have a Pons in this class, D'Angelo.
Yes,
and
I
you know
was
what?
Thinking of that guy.
You know what his his name is not pronounced as? Pons. It's not Pounds because there's no U.
Yeah, this is the former Tar Heel that wanted to inform me that he had been gone from Chapel Hill for 2 years.
Yeah, we know.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah.
I'm aware.
You know who told us that? The fact that we cover the team. We know you.
Oh, goodness. All right, Diego Pounds.
Jacksonville,
whatever.
I don't feel like they have, you got Cole Van Lannon, Anton Harrison, Walker Little. That's it. I mean, they're playing Wyatt Millam at guard, for sure. I've already added a piece to that. I feel like that's kind of tied my line together. And now we can take some real shots with these last 47 selections that they have.
166.
At 166, sorry, I flipped away from the page there. I still feel like Jacksonville needs a. I've addressed linebacker. I got the defensive lineman. I kind of want to. I want a safety at some point. This class is kind of weird because I feel like there's a good number of them in the back of day 2. I don't love what I've got here, but there is one that kind of slipped through. Michael Taft from Texas. If you liked Andrew Makuba, you should really like Michael Taft because they're borderline the same guy. They're really good in coverage, but neither one of them could tackle a blind squirrel. But, man, they can cover.
He just darts anywhere. You don't even see where he's going.
Just don't even know. He's just out there doing stuff.
Yeah. All right, and then last one, 203.
George Gums Jr., edge rusher from Florida. The tape's really inconsistent with him, but I have seen the high side where, he could turn into a situational edge rusher down the line. It wouldn't stun me.
And the physical capabilities are just, you can't ignore them.
Oh, he's a freak.
I mean somebody's going to take a chance on that. Yeah.
No doubt. He was one of the, at the combine, he was one of the guys that I walked away from and went, my Lord have mercy, that is a gigantic man.
Yep. He was definitely a winner of that process. Went from possibly not getting drafted to 7th round pick.
He also moves pretty well, at least for his size.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the few in the coverage drills. I always think it's stupid that we send defensive linemen through that because I very rarely ever glean anything from it.
Right.
He was one that I was surprised at how well he moved.
All right, the A-plus mock draft for the Jacksonville Jaguars here in the Sportsocracy. We'll continue with the A-plus mock drafts when we return here on ESPN Asheville.
With iHeart, everything you hear is guaranteed.
Clear.
By 78% of listeners trust their favorite radio host's product recommendations.
Jacksonville
if you manage
had
a
3 more
business
picks,
or
right?
need to drive sales, that trust goes a long way. Visit iHeartAdvertising.com. Again, that's iHeartAdvertising.com.
Start your spring.
No. I thought we were done.
For $109
Nope, they have
plus a free
233,
hallway.
240,
no
and
soap,
245.
No residue, no harsh.
Oh, shoot. Well, screwed that up. Well, we can come back after the break and do the last 3 picks. I planned it out that way.
Nailed it.
Asheville.com.
Yeah.
Asheville's number 1.
The page I'm looking at was broken. I just completely overlooked that round.
Wilson comes soaring in to dunk it home.
Home of the Sportsocracy.
He said Kyle Shanahan asked what
Damn ads.
named Hugs and Kisses.
Hugs and Kisses.
Now that's all Texas going to call it.
Live from the Ingalls studio, weekdays at noon. ESPN Asheville.
April is prime sports time.
Launches at 3. Got it.
And iHeartRadio has you locked in. Start your day with Fox Sports Radio's Dan Patrick, getting you caught up on the biggest stories.
You got some interesting scenarios here.
Then find your favorite baseball team hitting the diamond.
Grand slam from Mookie Betts.
Or dive into mock draft season with NFL Daily.
We know Mendoza's going number 1. Who do you have at number 2?
From NBA and NHL playoffs to the draft podium, we've got you covered. Open the iHeartRadio app, search sports, and listen now.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our value of commitment. Committed to you as our customers and the community that we serve. To do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
You might not know this, but at the Ingalls Bakery, we actually bake things. Like crusty breads, delicious apple fritters, cakes for any occasion. And did we mention the cookies? It's all in the bag. Ingalls. Low prices. Love the savings.
I'm Coley Duffy.
I'm Cody Ward.
And
we're the Chainsaw Brothers.
Actually, we're cousins. A few days after Helene, we was in the driveway having a couple beers, waiting on the power to come back on. And we heard so many people calling, needing trees removed, and couldn't afford it.
So I called my dad to borrow a chainsaw, and over the next few months, we cleared trees for our neighbors. Our business was born out of wanting to help Western North Carolina get back on our feet.
We are fully insured and licensed. We keep our promises, meaning if we say we're going to be there, we'll be there. In these parts, we live how we were raised.
When you call the Chainsaw Brothers, you're not a customer, you're family. We're good at what we do, and we do it for a reasonable cost.
For all your chainsaw needs, call the Chainsaw Brothers. 828-316-1013. Or find us on Facebook. See how we treat our family.
Are you still covered up with storm damage and debris?
Call us about our daily rates at 828-316-1013. That's 828-316-1013. We're the Chainsaw Brothers, and with our neighbors, we're Western North Carolina strong.
Woohoo!
The Sportsocracy.
You were just dumbing a bag of hammers.
Once again, back in the Sportsocracy, A-plus mock draft day, AFC South teams. Hey, did you know that the NFL draft has 7 rounds to it? Because that was something that, I mean, I knew because I've been there a couple of times to see it in person. However,
I did indeed know that.
I did. Have fun editing that one together later there, Flostradamus.
Not me, Christiana. She from the other room said, "I hate you," real loud. Yeah. I heard it.
No doubt about it. A-plus mock draft for the Jacksonville Jaguars does indeed include a 7th round. And in the 7th round, Jaguars pick at 233. It's the first one, right?
233, 240, and 245.
Mm-hmm. So who you got?
I resisted the urge to go another running back. I'm not going to do that. Mm-hmm. You already have several. Feel like I addressed that. I'm going to go DJ Harvey.
Does LaQuint Allen really need to make the roster, though?
Sure, he's the passing down guy. Does DJ Dallas need to make it? No. The answer to that every time he's ever been on an NFL roster is no. Okay. I'm going to go DJ Harvey, cornerback out of USC. I think that kid has another level that we've never seen. I don't know what it is about him. I caught him very late in the process. Not that I hadn't seen him, but I just started. It was almost like new eyes. New eyes. And I liked him way better the second time I watched this tape than I did the first time.
Okay. That could be a late round value there. And then 240.
By the way, I do laugh every time we get to this point and I see Taylon Green's name still on the screen. Like, oh, it's cute. That's cute that you think he's not going to go way higher than he should. Eric Gentry, linebacker, also out of USC. There was a time I thought he was going to go way higher until I watched this tape and went, oh, you can only do one thing. There's only but one skill that you have.
Okay.
Not much else. I mean, he's freakishly tall. 6'6" and some change with ridiculously long arms. He's a good coverage guy. But probably ends up being more of a special teams guy, tight end dependent matchup player.
All right. And then 245.
This is going to be a bit of a strange pitch for Jacksonville. I'm going to go Cole Payton, quarterback out of North Dakota State. I don't like Nick Mullins. I never really have. And Carter Bradley does less than nothing for me. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that this is weird to say about a quarterback class that I don't like. I think you get to a certain point where the value is there. But, I mean, I think Cole Payton should not go in the last 10 picks of this class, but I have a pretty good feeling that he's going to.
Okay. So you take a 4th quarterback there and just.
I think he's a 3rd. I don't believe Carter Bradley should be on an NFL roster.
Gotcha. Okay. I was going to say, I mean, this is still like a long-term backup play. And
sure.
I don't. Because even if I draft him, I wouldn't see him starting over Nick Mullins should, something, God forbid, happen to Trevor.
No, it's more Peyton. There are 2 quarterbacks in this class that everybody's told me how smart they are, and it's Cole Payton and Garrett Nussmeier.
Okay.
So, and I'm taking them the same way. If Nussmeier never becomes my starter, he'll be a high-level backup. If Peyton never becomes my backup, he will be the best 3 in the league. And he has value being in the room.
There you have it. You are in the Sportsocracy. It's ESPN Asheville A-plus mock drafts from the AFC South. Continue after this.
ESPN Asheville, your mountain weather forecast.
I know nobody packed away the sweaters and the heavier jackets or At least the long sleeve shirts, right? As the chilly air sticking around the next several mornings. Probably going to see a 3 as that first number on the car thermometer. Today, 65 for this afternoon. Tonight, mainly clear in the mid-30s. Some spots colder with some patchy frost early Wednesday. Then sunny Wednesday afternoon, low 60s. Thursday, sunshine, 30s again in the morning, upper 60s in the afternoon. Friday, a little patchy frost early, then sunshine, 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stage.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Insurance makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. See how much you can save at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and Progressive.com.
That red talkback mic on the free iHeart app could win you something amazing.
The iHeart Awards in LA.
Plus, it's the fastest way to get your voice on your favorite station.
Thanks, guys. Love you.
I love you guys. Have a good day.
Try the talkback mic now. Just open the free iHeartRadio app.
Some kids never smile. They're embarrassed by their crooked teeth. They want braces.
You have a weird
like the
story
other
here,
kids, but their families can't afford them. Some may even try to straighten their teeth themselves.
Yeah, sure.
Can make everything worse. Luckily, there's Donated Orthodontic Services, a program from the American Association of Orthodontists. It helps provide orthodontic treatment to kids and teens whose families can't afford it. For kids who apply, are approved, and are matched with a volunteer orthodontist, it can be life-changing. Their treatment is in the hands of an expert, a licensed local orthodontic specialist who improves their smiles by correctly aligning teeth and jaws. Some kids think they'll never smile again, but Donated Orthodontic Services may help them smile with confidence. To link to the application and eligibility requirements, visit aaoinfo.org.
92.9 on the FM dial is your new home for 570 WWNC.
Balanced budget, no deficit spending, not getting us involved in any wars, no sort of philanderings or anything like that.
Sounds like the most boring president ever.
It's the same station, it's the same news, it's the same people.
Wouldn't it be great?
It'd be wonderful.
Oh,
it just sounds better. Frequency modulation, news in stereo. Now on 92.9 FM.
Clarissa sells WNC as the #1 team in Buncombe County. We have the customer service experience to assist you in achieving your real estate goals. Our team offers something that 90% of listings in our market won't have: Zillow Showcase. Check us out at clarissasellswnc.com.
At Ingles, we know that fresh means local. The best ingredients don't come from
I believe you told the story
from your own backyard.
that I'm getting ready to tell, but YFF just picked it up. And there's he's now fighting part of it. So.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager.
If it sounds familiar, don't cut me off.
Our value of urgency.
Gotcha.
Focused. Prioritizing you as our customer and the community that we serve to do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
On the weird scale, there's Vegas, there's Florida, and there's Asheville. Let's get weird, Asheville.
All right, it is time to get weird. And, you know, things do feel pretty weird. I mean, you know, we've got political things going on around the world. We've also got interstellar things happening. You know I like space. I'm not necessarily a space nerd, but I'm interested in things like, you know, flying around the moon. So have you been following this, Jeremy? The Artemis trip around the moon? He doesn't even know what I'm talking about.
I mean, I know what you're talking about.
He doesn't even know.
I know. I saw. They saw a side of the moon that no one's ever seen. I don't.
They
care.
did.
I don't care.
They did. They slingshotted around the moon, traveled the farthest any humans have traveled in space before, and they had probably one of the most awkward interactions with our president today. There was a live call between the president and the crew of the Artemis II mission. And apparently, at one point, he was telling them how great they were, and then no one said anything for a full 63 seconds. Like, they're both just staring at their individual cameras going, I'm not talking next. I don't know what you want me to say. I've said you did a great job. I've got nothing left. Did you know that I'm planning on destroying a country later on today? I've got other things on my mind. I'm not. And the crew's going, do we speak? Does he speak? Do we really want to talk?
Are we supposed to? I think we're supposed to say things now, but I don't want to.
Everyone was silent for 63 seconds, and then the guy, one of the astronauts, grabbed the microphone and goes, "Are we still on the call?" For one of the most awkward, now going to be fully nationally televised interactions from the space station. It's been a weird trip for them altogether. Because did you hear about the toilet problems they've been having?
They had boo-boo problems.
And their solution for frozen urine in the waste exhaust was just turn it towards the sun, see if it melts.
Nailed it.
I got nothing left. Hopefully it melts. If not, we're all doing duties for the next 6 days.
No doubt. Anybody got a spare pair of shoes? Because we're going to need those.
T's and P's, because they're on that ship with a dude named Jeremy, and I guarantee he likes hot sauce.
For sure. And Chipotle. Not going to be good for you. My story comes from very close to where I'm sitting right now, Fountain Inn, South Carolina. It's about a man. His name's John Sullivan, and I need to explain John before I tell this story. I actually think Tank told this story, but now we've heard from him. John looks like he likes Harley Davidson motorcycles. He's a bald man with a big old gray beard, and he's got like a wishbone at the bottom. So he's braided the bottom of his beard and tied it off into another braid.
Yeah, so
it looks like a tuning fork.
Okay.
John has he has a hobby. He's got a hobby, and it bothers some of the neighbors. And he believes that his constitutional rights have been infringed upon. Mm-hmm. He likes to lay out in the sun nude.
Mm-hmm. Of course he does.
March 13th, he was arrested, charged with indecent exposure. And I don't know if you knew this or not, but that particular law carries up to 3 years in jail and could land you on the sex offender registry. Tank, did you know that?
Mm-hmm. I did. Because, what happens when, little Susie goes by on her bicycle?
Well,
she sees something she ain't supposed to see.
And it's funny that Mr. Sullivan is now fighting that. Because he is arguing that the public would only be able to see him if they wanted to. Because he has an 8-foot tall fence. That's half of it. The other half is chain link with slats. Uh-huh. You can figure out how many gaps are in that. I feel like as I'm painting the word picture, you're getting a pretty good idea of what Mr. Sullivan's yard looks like. And you're right. Whatever you're thinking, you're right.
They'd have to see it over the Corvette.
Let me put it this way. John looks like his wife has a shirt that says John's female dog on it. You do with that what you want to. I'm going to read you a quote, and I want to hear if you hear what I hear when I heard what he said. I think people look over here at a beautiful buff bull of alpha male living a wonderful life from a car garage with a porch built on it, and they see something they want to destroy. They just like everybody else who sees beautiful people doing beautiful things with a beautiful life. Am I the only one that heard it that way? Because that's what I heard. That's what I heard. I read that and went,
right there.
I know no less than 7 things about you based off that one quote by itself. Alone, I can tell you at least 7. I'll bet there was a time in your life you were really invested in Ed Hardy. I'll bet you tell your friends you're really into MMA. I'll bet that whatever beer you drink on an average day ends in light. I'll bet the
Wait, how
police
old
in
is
your
he?
town know you, not just because you're hanging brain, but because they have been called to your house for other things no less than 24 times.
Oh, that was the thing you said. Oh, good God.
I can't see Tank, so all I heard was that very effeminate giggle out of the background. And it just tickled me.
I didn't get it. I didn't see that one coming today.
Yeah.
Thank you for that curveball.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah, John Sullivan. You, sir, are not somebody I want to hang out with. I don't believe.
I don't know. I was thinking the other way. Like this guy needs one of them Bud Light Real American Hero. We had him. AI made him one for his birthday.
Oh, here's another thing I can tell you about Mr. Sullivan here. I'll bet you he has one, and Bill Workman said this in the YouTube chat. I'm just going to elaborate on it. I'll bet you he has a barbed wire tattoo on one arm and a Godsmack sun on the other.
How old is this guy? He's like 60-something, wasn't he?
He looks...
I think maybe we're overshooting it.
I'll say from the picture, he looks 65, but I'm going to say his life's been hard time to daddy. So I won't be shocked if he's like 43.
All right. So maybe.
John Sullivan looks 80, but he actually was born in 1982. He also, by the way, I was thinking
more likely this guy has Intimidator T-shirts and a whole bunch of jackets that came from the Marlboro catalog.
No doubt. There was a time that he thought Marlboro was a clothing designer.
Right.
He will fight
Smoking
you
them
to
reds.
the death if you say anything about Dale Earnhardt Sr.
No doubt about it.
There was another line in the story that I actually just saw that said, "Did you know a man sunbathing in the nudes, testosterone is 4,000 times higher than that of a man that doesn't?" That's a phrase he actually said out loud. Where did you get that information, Alex Jones? Like, did you just make that up? The news showed up. He went, "Yeah, I don't know if you know this, but a man who goes pork sword out is he's 4,000 more times likely to copulate that day."
Oh, good Lord.
This is what
A+ mock drafts.
This is what happens when you take my FM signal away. I just say stuff.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy, your daily dose of dumbassery. It's time to get back into the A+ mock drafts for the AFC South. The AFC South won by the Jacksonville Jaguars last year. Runner-up in the division, the Houston Texans, who I didn't think were going to be there, and then in the end, kind of seemed to come back to life with that winning streak at the end of the year. So, what are we getting in this season?
Am I the only one that thinks they're not going to add to the offensive line?
Well, I mean, Nick Caserio says there's no problem.
Well, Nick Caserio said there was no problem. Then he signed 42 linemen. I mean, what more can you do? Be real honest with yourself. So we already knew that they had Jake Andrews. Mm-hmm. They re-signed Ed Ingram. They had Jared Patterson and C.D. Sal. You just added Wyatt Teller, Evan Brown. You signed Braden Smith. You already had Ariante Ursery. You drafted Blake Fisher, and you re-signed Trent Brown. Mm-hmm. Do you understand that that's more linemen than you can carry, and you're financially committed to every last one of them? Where am I supposed to put a young guy? That's what they're rolling with. For better or worse, that's what they're rolling with. And I firmly believe that. I do not think that first pick is going to be a lineman. I don't think there's going to be a pick that's a lineman.
Probably not. Maybe one.
A
We
late
squeeze one.
141. We squeeze one lineman in there.
Mm-hmm. Or if a guy falls to us in the third round or something that we really like. Maybe.
There is a name that I keep finding a way to put with Houston.
Mm-hmm.
It was Kayden McDonald early. Now it's Caleb Banks. Because I feel like they flipped. And the more I've thought about this, I actually think Caleb Banks fits better with them than McDonald does.
Okay.
How do they beat you?
Defensively, they can get after your quarterback.
They
like
can
few
just
other teams can.
murk quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb Banks is a better pass rusher. Pass rush win rate's exponentially higher. So you get to a certain point where you're like, does Caleb Banks not fit what they do better? They're not going to win grind them out games with you.
Mm-hmm.
Their goal is they have invested in the offensive line, they've invested in wide receiver, and they still, to a point at least, believe in C.J. Stroud. So they're going to try to shoot out with you, get a lead on you, and then pin their ears back and try to kill your quarterback. Mm-hmm. Caleb Banks steers more into that than Kayden McDonald does.
Okay. So he's the pick at 28.
At 28. I don't think he should fall much further than that. It would legit surprise me if he did.
All right, then they have number 38 in the second round. Pick from Washington.
I would have said running back here before they added David Montgomery. I think they're going to add a running back, but I believe it will be later. Because I think they're going to roll with Montgomery, Woody Marks, and then add the third piece of that, which would probably be the more outside runner type. And there are a few of those later on. So I'm going to add one of those there. I feel like this team's needed a linebacker forever. You've got three, but outside of Al Shahir, I really don't believe in any of them all that much. Do you?
Mm-hmm. I like To'o. But
he's
not,
fine.
He's not a star.
But is he special?
No. He's steady.
So if I've got the opportunity to take a linebacker that could be special,
sure.
Do I not have to take it?
I would say so.
Jacob Rodriguez.
Ooh, okay.
In that system, do you not see him as a guy that can be absolutely special?
He could be.
I think he fits a scheme, like whether it's with D'Amico Ryans, Robert Saleh, whatever the case may be. I think he fits so well.
Okay, then they have the 59th pick. Still in the second round.
I do still think there is a possibility in terms of offensive linemen. If they're going to add anything, I think it would be a center. Do you agree or disagree?
Yeah, I agree.
Because I think Jake Andrews is the weak piece. And I don't necessarily think Eli Cox. I liked him coming into the draft. What was that, a year ago?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 2025. It's not like you invested draft capital in him, and he's an older guy anyway.
Okay.
So I'm going to go Connor Lew right here. I have come full circle on this, that I think Connor Lew is the one that gets drafted the highest. Not necessarily he's the one that I like the best, and I think there is a possibility that some teams don't love him as much as others do. But I like him with the amount of beef that's on this. I mean, the Houston Texans offensive line is gigantic.
Mm-hmm.
Between Trent Brown, Ed Ingram, Ariante Ursery, they are Trent Brown. They're huge. And I think Connor Lew, at some point you got to find somebody that can move. Mm-hmm. I think Connor Lew is the one that can. I mean, I know he can move. I think he would fit well in Houston.
All right, and then their next pick, third round. They got the Giants pick at 69.
69?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a need for Houston that I haven't hit yet?
I don't. I'm just waiting for them to find their next wide receiver. Because they seem to find one just willy-nilly anywhere. So why not go get a seventh one?
I mean, I guess that's my point. Is how many of them? How many of them can you carry?
I mean, it's kind of like the Jason Light theory. Like if I'm really good at picking these guys, then why not pick them and maybe do something with them? I don't know. Or who knows when the I mean, where are they at with Tank Dell? Where's he at with the injury and stuff? Is he going to be fine to go, or are we still talking like he ain't never going to play again?
I've heard varying reports. They think he will be able to play at some point. There are some people who think he'll never play again. But,
okay.
I mean, even if let's just say he doesn't. Take Tank Dell out of the equation.
Yes.
They already have 5. Because they got Nico Collins, Jaden Higgins, Jalen Noel, Xavier Hutchinson, and Justin Watson.
Yes.
That's 5.
All those dudes can play wonderful roles.
But there's not a dude there for you.
Well, I think Nico's a dude. I think he's proved that.
Agree.
I think Jaden Higgins is close to being a dude.
I agree. And I think Noel's your slot long term. And if Tank Dell comes back, he's just bonus money.
Mm-hmm. But what other holes am I filling? What other problems do I have?
Houston doesn't really have a lot of holes per se.
Right. So why not take a shot? I'm just, like I said, I'm maybe not necessarily here, but if there's one out there that I really like, okay. You know,
for me, there are some that I like that would in theory be here. I mean, for reference, it'd be Elijah Surratt.
Oh, I could see that being just wonderful.
But, I mean, where does he play? He's not playing over any of those top 3 guys I said. It's not going to happen. He's going to be a 4. I'm not sure he'd play. I'm not sure he'd play over Xavier Hutchinson.
He's not better than Noel?
No. And he's not slot. I don't think he's going to play that slot role the way that Houston wants it played.
Okay.
I mean, because you think they went from Tank Dell to Jalen Noel. You know what those two guys have in common? They're both real fast.
They are.
Elijah Surratt's not. I mean, you want to add Zachariah Branch just so you have 3 guys that do virtually the exact same thing? Or Deion Burks? I just can't get there. I would rather add another pass rusher. I mean, because Daniil Hunter's getting older. And Derek Moore's sitting right here.
Okay.
Yes, it's strength on strength, but at some point you've got to have a third one, and I really don't think they have one that's even worth playing all that much.
I couldn't even tell you who the guys are behind them.
Dominic Robinson's the 3. Who I liked, but he just hasn't done much.
All right, then Houston comes up again. Where?
106.
106. Oh, they skipped that one. All right.
Yeah, I'm going to go Malik Muhammad, cornerback out of Texas. It's not necessarily a need. At this point, I'm looking ahead to the future. This Houston roster is actually really good. If there had been a change at GM, this would be a little bit easier. But they're so invested in so many of these guys that it's kind of hard to figure out where it's going to come from. I still want to add a running back. I still want to add a tight end. Because to me, it's Dalton Schultz and nobody else.
Yep.
So
we're out of time.
Oh, yeah. We'll revisit at the beginning of the next hour.
That's right. We got to take our break. Splitting up the Houston Texans, too. Good luck editing this one as well there, Jeremy. We're just making more work for you.
Oh, yeah.
That kind of day, right?
100%. Been that kind of month.
You're in the Sportsocracy, and this is ESPN Asheville. We'll be right back, continuing the AFC South A+ mock drafts.
ESPN Asheville.
And we're clear.
forecast.
Do you like my little dig
I
there?
know nobody packed away the sweaters and the heavier jackets, or at least the long sleeve shirts.
Naughty, naughty.
Several mornings. Probably going to see a 3 as that first number on the car thermometer. Today, 65 for this afternoon. Tonight, mainly clear in the mid-30s. Some spots colder with some patchy frost early Wednesday. Then sunny Wednesday afternoon, low 60s. Thursday, sunshine, 30s again in the morning, upper 60s in the afternoon. Friday, a little patchy frost early, then sunshine, 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Station.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Springfest is on at Lowe's. Right now, get 5 bags of Stay Green Premium 2 cubic foot mulch for $10. Plus, get up to 40% off select major appliances. Valid through 4/22 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for details. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Ms. Fernandez, what are those tiny things?
Those are called amoebas. You can only see them through a microscope.
Wow. Today's students are tomorrow's great thinkers and innovators. But right now, there's a funding crisis in public schools. Donors Choose is a nonprofit that lets you support students and teachers in your community and beyond. You could provide pencils and paper, help a music class get a guitar,
Or even a science project for a classroom like mine.
Learn more at donorschoose.org.
Politics and Pints, a civil sit-down about the day's top issues. 570 WWNC invites you to join our bipartisan panel of special guests April 16th at 6:30 at Cultivated Cocktails on Charlotte Highway.
It's Matt and Bowen. If you've ever had an opinion about a celebrity, a movie, or a random woman on TikTok, this podcast is for you.
Listen to Las Culturistas on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Selling your home? Don't settle for average. Our real estate team at Clarissa Sells WNC and eXp Realty offers Zillow Showcase, an exclusive AI-powered listing experience available to just the top 10% of all listings in our area. With immersive media, cutting-edge design, and elevated marketing, Showcase listings, they go pending quicker and sell for up to $9,000 more than standard listings. Ready to stand out in a crowded market? Give our team a call today, 828-774-6343, because your home deserves the spotlight.
The crack of the bat, the sight of green grass and white chalk lines, the aroma of perfectly grilled hot dogs. If right about now you're simultaneously hungry and ready for baseball, then we've got you covered. At Ingles, we're here for all the fanfare of America's pastime, sponsoring teams from Little League to the pros. So, whether you're the snack parent or just craving that perfect ballpark meal, we've got you covered. Ingles, your official sponsor of baseball season.
Do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Our mission, to improve lives with every interaction. This is JW, General Manager at Parks Ford Hendersonville. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com. That's parksfordhendersonville.com.
I'm Coley Duffy.
I'm Cody Ward.
And
we're the Chainsaw Brothers.
Actually, we're cousins. A few days after Helene, we was in the driveway having a couple beers, waiting on the power to come back on. And we heard so many people calling, needing trees removed, and couldn't afford it.
So I called my dad to borrow a chainsaw, and over the next few months, we cleared trees for our neighbors. Our business was born out of wanting to help Western North Carolina get back on our feet.
We are fully insured and licensed. We keep our promises, meaning if we say we're going to be there, we'll be there. In these parts, we live how we were raised.
When you call the Chainsaw Brothers, you're not a customer, you're family. We're good at what we do, and we do it for a reasonable cost.
For all your chainsaw needs, call the Chainsaw Brothers. 828-316-1013. Or find us on Facebook. See how we treat our family.
Are you still covered up with storm damage and debris?
Call us about our daily rates at 828-316-1013. That's 828-316-1013. We're the Chainsaw Brothers, and with our neighbors, we are Western North Carolina strong.
Woohoo!
This season isn't a reset, it's a reminder that champions don't disappear. They reload, and the 2026 Atlanta Braves are ready.
And a piercing shot to deep left field, and all the way gone!
The Atlanta Braves are back, chopping toward another playoff run.
Here comes some late-night dynamite here at Truist Park!
The Mountain's home for Braves baseball is ESPN Asheville. Proudly brought to you by Parks Ford of Hendersonville.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
Hell yeah.
Oh, I'm in a mood.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Well, I could have done without the shot of your armpit there.
K Fairview, WMXF Wayne.
Nice manicure job, by the way.
Radio station. Guaranteed.
I have no idea know what you're talking about.
Live from the Ingles studio.
I can't wait to play with myself every day.
You just reached over your camera and it went. The camera went right in your armpit.
Let him on the field.
Come get you some of this.
Fire them cannons. By golly, put more powder in those things.
He couldn't take any more disappointment.
Oh, my God. The Jets killed him.
No! Time for another hour of the Sportsocracy. Welcome back in. You're on ESPN Asheville. Sportsocracy heard everywhere you go on the iHeartRadio app. We are seen everywhere on YouTube. Just go to thesportsocracy.com. Click the live video link. Subscribe to the channel. And join us in the chat for the high-def version of the Sportsocracy.
Occasionally, you ever eat homemade salsa and you find that one pepper that was in it that you go, that bad boy is a little hotter than the rest of them.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Yeah, I got that right before you turned my mic on. I saw dead relish for a minute.
Well, that's no good. That's no good at all. As Jeremy continues to enjoy the fruits of, what was the name of the place?
Cantina 76.
Cantina 76, who apparently has just won, all marketing, and is doing a master's quesadilla with pimento cheese, fried chicken, with jalapeno slaw on it.
There's jalapeno
and now I
slaw
can't
on
think
the
of
side,
anything else.
And then there's candied jalapenos on it.
Oh, my. Can you stop?
Yeah, it's quite
Some
good.
kind of aioli stuff?
Chipotle aioli. It's quite nice.
Jeez. Wow. It's almost worth the drive down to Greenville, isn't it?
Come on down. We got plenty of space. Megan and Christiana are hemmed up in a room that I didn't know existed in this building until, I don't know, an hour ago.
All right. Well,
I literally went through the building playing Marco Polo. I kept hearing my name, and I was like, I don't know where that's coming from. And I saw a little cherub poke out a spot. I was like, I didn't know there was a door there.
The AFC South A+ mock drafts. That's what we're doing today on a Tuesday afternoon. What are we? How many days are we away from the draft now?
Oh, let's see. It's 16 days.
You're doing the countdown.
16 days to the 2026 NFL Draft in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
We'll be heading there on the last leg of the Ingles Living the Dream tour for the year. And it's going to be a fun time. And hopefully teams will, tune in and do some draft magic with old Flostradamus here. Because Drafty Claus is coming to town.
Drafty Claus is coming to town.
And he's bringing all your favorite toys in the draft.
He's making a mock. He's checking it twice. Gonna
go.
find out who sucks at this. Drafty Claus is coming to town.
We're talking about the Houston Texans. How will they fill the little holes that they have, or what little holes they have, and how will they add on and actually make a bigger threat toward a Super Bowl? Because that's the next step for this team.
For sure.
The next step is no longer division, but Super Bowl. The Jacksonville Jaguars are right there with them. So Houston, their next selection in the A+ Sportsocracy mock draft. Where did we leave off?
We are at pick number 141.
140. All right, first pick in the 5th round.
Jack Indries, tight end out of Texas. I think they need another actual pass catcher. It's not anybody that's going to compete with Dalton Schultz, but it's somebody that's significantly better than Cade Stover. Because Cade, he's not real good. I'm trying to decide if I want to hold all Ohio State tight ends against Cade or Max Clare or not. But I'm leaning to yes.
Okay.
So it seems like every Ohio State tight end comes into this league and is just absolutely, completely irrelevant.
Yeah, but Max Clare, I mean, he was only there for a year, so
he was a Purdue guy first.
He didn't get time to get that stink on him. Maybe. So Jack Andrews is the pick.
I like him as a pass catcher. I think he's got really good hands.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then
167. Damon Claiborne, running back out of Wake Forest. I know it's a guy you like, even though he's a little feller.
He is a little feller, but you know what? We got a lot of little fellers that you can play a role.
Oh, no doubt. I think he's going to have I think he will have a massive role in the passing game. I actually think he's a better pure runner than a lot of other people do. He's just
quick.
So small.
Mm-hmm. He's real quick. He's elusive. I mean, we saw him at Wake Forest hit several big home runs. I think it's a good pick because he's not going to be. He shouldn't be looked at as the guy.
No,
he's just a piece in a system. He's a by-shell Tootin.
You mean the current starter of the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Yes, that guy. I think he slots in fine behind Woody Marks.
Sure.
As your third option. So that was 167.
Now we go all the way down to 243.
That's a wait. That's not even worth waiting on. Just let's cash that one in and just not even make the pick.
No, you know what? We've done well. Let's rest on our laurels. That's not what they're going to do. I'm double dipping at defensive line. I'm going James Thompson Jr., the kid out of Illinois. You know I'm not even kind of I'm so biased on him, it's funny. Because I saw him at the Senior Bowl. I completely fell in love with him. And now I feel like I want to give him to everybody in the 7th round because everybody can benefit from him.
Yeah. All right, there. That puts the ribbon or the bow or the ribbon or both on the A+ mock draft for the Houston Texans. Where do you think C.J. Stroud's going to take this team next? Do you think this is what we saw at the end of the season? Did it give you more hope? Or are you more concerned?
I feel better now that they have 11 bullets in the gun on the offensive line, because there is absolutely nobody that's going to hijack this season. Because they have 4 tackles, 4 guards, 2 centers.
Yep.
And that's if you don't really go deep. I mean, they are going to find an offensive line combination that works.
Yeah.
And that gives me way more hope for C.J. Stroud than I've had probably in his career.
Mm-hmm.
He was always a quarterback that had to be kept clean, and Houston just has not done a great job of that.
Houston or Jacksonville? Who do you take for the future right now? It's so much tougher of a call than I thought it would be going into last year. Right, we knew what we liked about the Houston Texans, but 1 year of Lee and Cohen changed everything.
Well, I mean, and the crazy part is we talked about it all year long is that they were still just scratching the surface. I mean, they were still struggling to get plays in 12 weeks into the year.
Yep.
I will say Jacksonville, but it's close.
Okay.
And for me, it's 1A, 1B. And the other 2 are 7 and 47.
All right, for purposes of the edit, why don't we take the break early, and then we'll come back and we'll do the next team in the A+ mock drafts from the AFC South. Here in the Sportsocracy, it's ESPN Asheville.
Champions don't disappear. They
clear.
2026 Atlanta Braves are ready.
Chopping toward another playoff run. The Mountain's home for Braves baseball, ESPN Asheville. Brought to you by Parks Ford of Hendersonville.
Graham Bunn here. It's springtime in Leonard Country, or as we like to say, sun's out, truck's out. Leonard Truck Outfitters and its family of stores is ready to get you dug into your spring projects with the best brands of accessories in America, custom fit for your make and model. Come check us out.
Joe Cruisers makes it easy in March with an upfit combo for $28.99.99. That covers you from the steps to the bed. Visit LeonardUSA.com today to see the whole package.
Leonard's Truck Outfitters, stores you can always depend on.
In North Carolina, be ready for wildfire by protecting your home from embers. Store away furniture cushions, rattan mats, potted plants, and other decorations from doors, decks, and patios. Falling embers will have nothing to burn. More tips at PreventWildfireNC.org.
I'm Daniel Alarcon. I'm John Green, co-host of the podcast The Away End with my old friend Daniel.
I remember the first time I took my oldest son to an actual live soccer game, and when you step out through the concourse and you can see the field, he did like that, like a sharp intake of breath, and he said, "This is so unusual for my eyes."
Oh, I love that. Together, we'll find out why, of all the unimportant things, football, soccer, is the most important. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search The Away End with Daniel Alarcon and John Green, and listen now.
Clarissa sells WNC as the #1 team in Buncombe County. We have the customer service experience to assist you in achieving your real estate goals. Our team offers something that 90% of listings in our market won't have, Zillow Showcase. Check us out at clarissasellswnc.com.
At Ingles, we celebrate the amazing women who show the world exactly what it means to throw like a girl, hit like a girl, play like a girl, and dream like a girl. Ingles, we're with you every step of the way.
This is Braves Country, where history lives and legends rise. And now, the next chapter begins because the Atlanta Braves are back.
Swung on and belted. Deep right field. Gone!
The names you know: Acuna, Harris, and Riley, Albies, Olsen, and Baldwin. Chopping toward another playoff run. The Mountain's home for Braves baseball is ESPN Asheville. Proudly brought to you by Parks Ford of Hendersonville.
I'm Scarlett Johansson. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. You can join the movement to end hunger by donating, volunteering, and advocating. Because when people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger at feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
The Sportsocracy.
Take all this, burn it, okay? Gasoline, kerosene, either one. Burn it.
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville. Heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Your Draftmas season destination. We're counting down the days to the 2026 NFL Draft. A-plus mock drafts division by division. Today's AFC South day. Tomorrow, where are we going? Just curious.
Oh, let's see. AFC East.
Ooh, the AFC East tomorrow. All right, so the New York Football Jets.
Got a couple high-end, way high up there picks.
Are you sure? You already had a bad day today. Do you need to do the Jets tomorrow?
No, I probably shouldn't.
Just to raise the blood pressure one more time.
Yeah, you know what I really need to do? I need to take a day off and just go like play with a bunch of puppies or something. Just something that couldn't possibly stress me out.
Yeah.
But my luck, one of them would probably pee on me.
Well, look, the Treasure Club's right down the street, right? So, I mean, you could do that.
From where I'm at right now?
Right.
Oh, no, there's two. But the Treasure Club's was in Asheville.
Oh, I thought that was what the place down there was called.
No, you're talking about Platinum Plus.
Trophy Club.
Trophy Club was also in that was the original name of the Treasure Club. Don't challenge me on history of a gentleman's club, sir.
You clearly have more information than I do.
This is a game that I was born to play.
The Treasure Chest.
I believe that one is in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
The Southern Belle.
That one's in Savannah, Georgia. I do believe.
That's Charleston.
I knew it was somewhere on the coast. I just got the city wrong. I knew it was down there somewhere.
Been there to that one. Been that one too.
When you say one that I'm not familiar with, I'll let you know.
All right. Anyway, back into
Bucks,
the
racks, and ribs. That's one that's that number one name. That was actually just 5 minutes down the road. Until a few years ago. Now it's a church. That's a true story.
That's quite an interesting turn of events.
I get my religion in this former den of sin. Yes, I do. I tell you what.
A+ mock drafts for the AFC South. Moving on here to the Indianapolis Colts. Yeah, Indiana Jones or Danny Dimes. Which one do you get? He just got paid again, so you never know. I never thought he was that good to begin with, but last year it worked. He was good up until a point.
He's fine. He's not good. He's fine. But he's fine in that way that fine is when you ask your wife if she's okay and she says, I'm fine. And you're like, awesome. I'm going to get stabbed with a fork in my sleep tonight.
But you're committed. You've got the quarterback. You're committed to your number one wide receiver, Alec Pierce. And it make you feel good.
Oof.
It shouldn't.
It should not.
Your number one weapon on this team is your running back.
Jonathan
number
Taylor,
two,
1. Tyler Warren, 2.
Right. Your 2 is your tight end. And you just spent way too much money on a wide receiver who's at best your third option.
And your 3 makes $30 million, which is more than the other 2 put together.
Yes.
Oof.
So, what you going to do in the NFL draft?
I would love to say in an A+ mock draft, the best case scenario is that Jacob Rodriguez finds his way to 47. Would you like me to tell you the problem with that?
What's that?
Do you know the list of teams picking in front of them that need a linebacker?
Well, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are in front of them.
Buccaneers are 1. Baltimore Ravens are 1. Jets are 1. Dolphins are 1. New Orleans Saints are 1. Cincinnati Bengals are 1. Kansas City Chiefs are 1. We skipped the Browns. Houston Texans are 1. New York Giants are 1. Las Vegas Raiders. No, probably not. Tennessee Titans are 1. Arizona Cardinals are 1. New York Jets are 1. That's every pick in the second round except for 2. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go out on a limb, say he's probably not going to be there for you. So you're going to have to reach just a hair, but you've got to find a linebacker for this team. I'm going Jake Galday from Cincinnati. He used to be an edge rusher, and it kind of shows. I think he will be a good, probably never great linebacker in the league, but I also don't see much bust. And if you're Indianapolis, that's what you've got to have. And at linebacker, you're not getting one of those high-end guys. You traded that first-round pick. You probably wouldn't have gotten one of them anyway. But without that, you have no shot. So for me, I got to take the one that I think is the safest. And Galday might be the safest linebacker in this class.
Man, he's tall.
Yeah, like what, almost 6'5"?
6'4". Yeah, 6'4" and some change.
6'4" and some change.
Mm-hmm.
He is a big boy.
Yes, yes, sir, he is. All right, so Galday going to the Indianapolis Colts at 47. Then, I was trying to find the other pick, and it just wasn't coming. 78 is the next one.
Sorry, do you know who the current starting linebackers for the Indianapolis Colts are? I'm just curious if you could get this right. There's only 5 of them on the roster.
Okay.
Akeem Davis-Gaither is 1.
Really? Okay.
Jalen Carlisle is 1. And Austin Ajaki. I've never heard those last 2 names in my entire life.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
I will say Austin Ajaki is going to be the name that I check into hotels with from now on.
He's a burgeoning star.
If for nothing else, just to hear some fellers down here in the South go, is your name Ajake? Ajaki. It's French.
All right, so they're definitely going linebacker because there's one.
I mean, I think they have to. I want another receiver, but man, I've got to find somebody that can play linebacker.
Yeah, you might want to double up at linebacker. Do another one at 78.
Well, I mean, you can do that if that's. I don't think you need to do that because there's so many of them in this class.
Right.
I need a high-end guy. So I've either got to come away from this with Jacob Rodriguez or Jake Galday or I think at worst case scenario, Kyle Lewis.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the best way you could go about this, but I like either Galday or Rodriguez with that first pick.
All right. At 78.
Well, the funny thing is at 78, I'm looking at a bunch of guys that remind me of Alec Pierce. Not necessarily because they have similar body frame or anything like that. Zachariah Branch. Hey, what's the best thing he does? He bees fast real well. Mm-hmm. Ted Hurst, maybe, but Ted Hurst feels awful Alec Pierce-y too. These are just traits guys. Is it stupid of me to just go replace Michael Pittman for way cheaper?
No.
Malachi Fields.
Okay.
Would you like to take a guess who my comp to Malachi Fields is in the mullet, my 2026 guide to the NFL draft?
Michael Pittman.
Michael Pittman Jr. To me, they're the exact same guy. I just don't like Fields as much.
Okay. Is the speed that much different?
No. Pittman's probably a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
Because Fields, he moves like a cruise ship.
Right. I was thinking that was the biggest problem.
Well, he's just not fast. I mean, he is a big-bodied, contested catch. He's borderline a tight end. I'll be honest with you. I think Malachi Fields is more of a tight end than at least 3 tight ends in this class, including but not limited to Eli Stowers.
Right.
I saw I think it was Ian Rappaport that put out a tweet earlier that said, a lot of teams are evaluating Eli Stowers as a wide receiver. No kidding. Did they figure out that thing that the closest he came to tight end was his nameplate on his locker?
All right, the Indianapolis Colts at number 113.
Indianapolis has several needs that once I take care of linebacker, I take care of wide receiver. Then it's into the defensive line. I really want to add another offensive lineman at some point. And I wouldn't be averse to adding a quarterback at some point. Probably not going to have the luxury of doing that unless you move on from Anthony Richardson, which I don't know that there's a buyer. I've never seen one that makes all that much sense. Do you?
No. I don't know that. I don't know that there's anybody that still believes.
I mean, there is raw athleticism. I don't know how much raw talent there is. Mm-hmm. So I get to 113. I want an edge rusher. It's just a question of which one. They also need a presence on the interior, which makes it pretty easy for me to. I don't know which one this guy's going to play, but I have a pretty good feeling he's going to play one of the two. Mm-hmm. Tyreek Sapp from Florida. I think he's more of an interior guy. I've always thought that. He's gigantic. And his win rate was that of a defensive tackle. And Florida just felt like they wanted to do anything but that. Mm-hmm. Because he played outside the tackle on, I'm just doing the math, 2/3 of his snaps. Which doesn't really make sense for a guy that is as big as he is. I think he has pass rush chops. I just think it's more from the interior.
Okay. So another depth piece to try to bring along behind DeForest Buckner.
Well, I don't love what they have in that front. I mean, because Grover Stewart, he's fine, but he's also 33 years old, and there's just not much behind him. The only thing that bothers me about Sapp in this scenario is that they just drafted JT Tuamalo, and I do think they're kind of hat on hat if you believe he's a defensive end, which I don't.
Okay.
If you don't agree with that, then I would go with another defensive tackle, and it would probably be. Give me a second. I'll figure out which one I would have liked there.
No. All right. 113. The pick was.
Tyreek Sapp.
Tyreek Sapp out of Florida. 156.
And the defensive line, if you went a straight defensive tackle, it would have been Xavier Harris from Ole Miss.
All right, 156. Who you got for the Colts?
I feel like Indianapolis is really good in the secondary. Minus, you don't really have a safety I believe in all that much. I mean, I like Bynum as the over-the-top guy. I don't see one in the box that makes me feel any kind of. I mean, do you? Am I missing somebody here?
No.
Bishop Fitzgerald, safety out of USC. I'm going to tell you two things about him that I absolutely love. First of all, he is a safety that can play in the box, that can also cover. He's one of the only ones in this class. He's not the ball hawk necessarily that you want him to be, but there is raw that makes me think he could become a guy down the line. The other thing, and I just learned this, he was on Good Morning Football or one of those NFL Network shows. He was named after a Tupac character.
A Tupac character.
I did not know that. It was one of those movies that I don't remember which movie it was.
Oh, okay, I got you. So like, he shares the name of the guy above the rim or something.
Juice.
Ah. Okay. I don't think I ever saw that movie.
I think I did see it, and only because I'd had several domestic lights and I had just watched Chappelle's Show.
Okay.
It's mentioned in Chappelle's Show twice.
Okay. Next up for the Colts in the A+ mock draft?
Let's see. At this point, they're at 214. I want to add somebody else to that backfield just solely because I don't see a lot. I mean, DJ Giddens, they didn't invest much in him. They haven't invested much in Ulysses Bentley either. Mm-hmm. So this is the point where I start looking at, okay, maybe there is a running back here. I seriously considered Eli Heidenreich. I think this might be a little bit early for him. So I'm going to go Robert Henry Jr., the kid out of UTSA. I do not have as high a grade on him as a lot of other people, but I feel like in those early 200s, I got to start getting some of those guys in just to go, hey, I do know who this is. I'm not as wild about him as others are.
I was gonna say that's like a wide berth because I've pointed out to you several rankings that had him like in the top 5 running backs, top 8 running backs,
which is
this class.
It's insane.
I agree, but if there's that thought out there amongst some, I got a feeling the guy's not going to be around in the 200s.
I'll bet he is. I'll go ahead and tell you, I'll bet there's not 5 running backs that go in the top 175 picks of this class.
Okay.
I don't think there's more than 3 that go in the top 100. I'll be shocked if more than that go in the top 100.
Okay.
And one of them can't really walk at this point.
All right, you got Robert Henry Jr. going to Indianapolis at 214, and then they have 2 in the 7th.
I'm going to take another shot at safety with Jalen Husky from Maryland. I'm a little higher, it seems, on him than the rest of the industry, but I keep hearing he's not going to get drafted, and I don't get it. And if I'm going to take a shot at the back end of this class, he's pretty high on the list of shots I want to take. Mm-hmm. Worst case scenario, that kid's going to be a hammer on special teams.
All right, and then their second compensatory pick in the 7th, 254.
This is where I'm going to take a final shot at wide receiver. I had to debate this, and I finally just settled because there's so many LSU receivers in this class. I'm going to go Chris Hilton Jr. He's the one I like the best. He didn't play that much, but man, that kid can fly. It was very confusing in the pre-draft process to see that many LSU helmets. They have 3 guys that are sub 5'10". Hilton's one of them.
And the Indianapolis A+ mock draft. We continue with the AFC South. The last one coming up after the break here on ESPN Asheville.
ESPN Asheville.
Clear.
Your mountain weather forecast. I know nobody packed away the sweaters and the heavier jackets, or at least the long sleeve shirts, right? As the chilly air sticking around the next several mornings. Probably going to see a 3 as that first number on the car thermometer. Today, 65 for this afternoon. Tonight, mainly clear in the mid-30s. Some spots colder with some patchy frost early Wednesday. Then sunny Wednesday afternoon, low 60s. Thursday, sunshine, 30s again in the morning, upper 60s in the afternoon. Friday, a little patchy.
You mean the crimes that I'll commit waiting on the world to blow up? Yeah.
Yes.
And the weeds aren't far behind, but the lawn care pros.
Nice.
Ready. Don't wait. Sign up at TrueGreen.com by 11th and get 6 weeks free. Let the pros do the work so you can enjoy your weekend. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaid spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Got something to say?
Love you.
Well, just tap the red talkback mic on the free iHeartRadio app.
Let's go.
Requests, contests, or just to say hi.
Hey, this is Heather.
Get your voice on the air fast.
I got the windows rolled down, the moonroof open.
Open the iHeartRadio app and try it now.
This season isn't a reset, it's a reminder that champions don't disappear. They reload, and the 2026 Atlanta Braves are ready.
And Acuna swings a mighty bat. That thing is way out of the ballpark.
Chopping toward another playoff run. Sale, Strider, and Schwellenbach. Acuna, Albies, Olsen, and Baldwin. The Mountains' home for Braves baseball is ESPN Asheville. Proudly brought to you by Parks Ford of Hendersonville.
Selling your home? Don't settle for average. Our real estate team at Clarissa Sells WNC and eXp Realty offers Zillow Showcase, an exclusive AI-powered listing experience available to just the top 10% of all listings in our area. With immersive media, cutting-edge design, and elevated marketing, Showcase listings, they go pending quicker and sell for up to $9,000 more than standard listings. Ready to stand out in a crowded market? Give our team a call today, 828-774-6343, because your home deserves the spotlight.
This is J.W. Whitley, General Manager at Parks Ford of Hendersonville. Our value of commitment. Committed to you as our customers and the community that we serve. To do better, be better every day. That's the Parks Promise. Experience the Parks Promise today at parksfordhendersonville.com.
You might not know this, but at the Ingalls Bakery, we actually bake things. Like crusty breads, delicious apple fritters, cakes for any occasion. And did we mention the cookies? It's all in the bag. Ingalls. Low prices. Love the savings.
I'm Coley Duffy.
I'm Cody Ward.
And
we're the Chainsaw Brothers.
Actually, we're cousins. A few days after Helene, we was in the driveway having a couple beers, waiting on the power to come back on. And we heard so many people calling, needing trees removed, and couldn't afford it.
So I called my dad to borrow a chainsaw, and over the next few months, we cleared trees for our neighbors. Our business was born out of wanting to help Western North Carolina get back on our feet.
We are fully insured and licensed. We keep our promises, meaning if we say we're going to be there, we'll be there. In these parts, we live how we were raised.
When you call the Chainsaw Brothers, you're not a customer, you're family. We're good at what we do, and we do it for a reasonable cost.
For all your chainsaw needs, call the Chainsaw Brothers. 828-316-1013. Or find us on Facebook. See how we treat our family.
Are you still covered up with storm damage and debris?
Call us about our daily rates at 828-316-1013. That's 828-316-1013. We're the Chainsaw Brothers, and with our neighbors, we are Western North Carolina strong.
Woohoo!
Welcome back into the Sportsocracy. This is ESPN Asheville, and it is time for the most important message of the day.
Don't do crimes.
Don't do crimes. That's right. Even if you think, they're just little harmless crimes. I mean,
yours is a harmless crime?
Well, I mean, no, but I could see how, idiots would think that it's all fun and games, right? It's all fun and games until somebody loses an eye. That's what your mom always used to tell you. But what if they lose, a rear view mirror on their car or a big glass window at a business, or I don't know, how about the side of a cop car? I'm talking about three dudes in Butte, Montana, who obviously have nothing to do because it's Butte, Montana, right? I mean, if you're not working on the ranch, as we all learned from Yellowstone, you're just hanging out in the bar getting drunk, wondering what the hell we're going to do today. So these three thugs, Lane Joseph Louder, 18 years old, Mackenzie Joe Allen, 20 years old, and 27-year-old Christopher Allen Hearn are all serial slingshotters. They've been terrorizing the town of Butte. Or is it city? Are there any cities in Montana?
Yes.
Bozeman probably fits. Anyway, they've been terrorizing Butte by just going around town and slingshotting things. They've not slingshotted any people, but there have been apparently reports of 56 windows being damaged by little round metal balls about 0.25 inches in diameter that have been launched from slingshots over the last several weeks. Damage reported at 9 businesses as well as numerous residents and vehicles. Now, these three dudes are charged with what? What is the crime for slingshotting? What classification?
Misdemeanor?
Nope, not in Montana. They're all facing felony criminal mischief charges by common scheme. See, they threw like a conspiracy to commit dumbass juvenile crimes on these guys. Maximum penalty? 10 years for slingshotting. It seems aggressive on one hand, and then the other part of me goes, I hope they do every single day. Because I'm just a curmudgeon like that, I guess.
You certainly are a curmudgeon. Which makes my question kind of funny. Tank, do you know what the term zombieing means?
Zombieing?
Yeah, it's a slang term.
No.
If you had to take
Is that like soaking?
No. Zombieing.
Okay, what is zombieing?
Is a term for an ex who previously disappeared, pops back into your life, often through social media or other means of communication.
Okay.
My story is about 40-year-old Melissa Dunham. She tried to rekindle with her estranged husband, name redacted. That tends to tell you who committed the crime here.
Yeah.
Miss Dunham traveled to Homosassa? I have no idea how to say it. Homosassa, sure.
Homosassa Springs, Florida.
Yep, to celebrate the 18th birthday of her son who lived there with her estranged husband. According to WFLA, They decided while she was there they were going to try to rekindle their marriage. Son told deputies with the Citrus County Sheriff's Office that not long after Mom moved back in, Mom and Dad started to fight. Relationship was described as toxic, and the 18-year-old son packed his bags, plugged in his phone, went to sleep. He woke up, phone was dead. He thought the power had been cut thanks to non-payment. So he walks out, finds his father sitting in his parked car charging his phone. They sat on the porch. Mother was still inside, Miss Dunham. Apparently, Miss Dunham decided she no longer wanted to attempt to rekindle their relationship.
Okay.
So she packed her things, which according to the story,
was she Dunham with the relationship?
She was indeed Dunham with the relationship. She packed her things, including 2 small dogs, because of course she did. And I'll bet you they rode in bags. She walked out of the house, looked at her husband, and yelled, "Now we don't have excrement." At this point, the father and the son realized that the house was on fire because she set it on fire.
Oh, dear.
Police found Dunham on a nearby street. She allegedly had a large bottle of butane lighter fluid in her bag. She also had a few other things in her bag tank. What would you like to guess those were?
Methamphetamines.
I don't have a bell. That is one. Marijuanas.
Okay.
And multiple hypodermic needles, which tested positive for meth residue. She was arrested.
Wait, what? They're shooting it now?
Apparently.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
You know what I've learned about meth? I don't know much about meth. And you know what? I'm okay with that.
Right.
She was charged with
apparently you just put it in me somewhere.
Just get it in the stream. That's all I need. Dunham was charged with felony arson of a dwelling with people present. She also added 2 counts of possession of a controlled substance, possession of drug paraphernalia. She was denied bond, being held in the Citrus County Detention Facility. And this is example number 476,376,212 of, fellas, if it ends, there's a reason it ended. Yeah. Don't re-return. It's always a bad idea. Take that advice from a man that may have done the re-return a time or two.
Yeah.
And you know how it usually ends? With your excrement on fire.
Exactly.
The more you know.
Yep. AFC South, A+. Mock drafts. Wrap it up here in this Sportsocracy on this fine Tuesday afternoon. The final team is Tennessee Titans. And
woo!
Okay, so we're starting a new era. Are we feeling anything special about this team going into the draft?
I feel one thing very special. If this kid's on the board, and he should be, he is 100% going to be the pick. And his name is Sonny Styles.
At number 4, Tennessee Titans going Sonny Styles from Ohio State.
My question would be, what else do you expect them to do? They added pieces to the line. They added pieces to the secondary. The one spot that they really don't feel like they added much was at linebacker. Hey, you do know that this is a coach that's really had some success with linebackers over the days? And you know who Sonny Styles reminds me of more than anybody? Fred Warner.
That? Okay.
He's a hyper-athletic version of Fred Warner. And I don't see a way Saleh bypasses it. I've heard the Jeremiyah Love thing. I get it. I just don't believe it.
Can I get anybody comparable to Sonny Styles later in the draft?
Comparable? Yeah. I mean, comparable in the sense that they're both linebackers. And
I'm just trying to think, is there any is there any like positional value to consider here? Because if I feel like running back is that big of a deal in my war room. Am I more willing to take the shot on Jeremiyah Love?
I will be shocked. I'll be shocked if Robert Saleh goes, yes, get me the running back.
Okay.
I mean, look, he had
stuff.
Breece Hall formerly, but you also got to remember that was a second-round pick. I don't necessarily think he's going to value a running back in the first round. There's nothing in his history that tells me that's where he's going to go. Now, he hasn't taken a whole lot of linebackers in the first round either. If I'm not mistaken, I believe that answer is also 0.
But he is known for taking defensive pieces, and that makes a lot of sense. I mean, unless they cave to Jeffrey Simmons, who has requested Reuben Bain.
I will,
but I don't know
that
that's happening
if
at 4. Right, I don't know that's happening at 4. Now maybe if New Orleans wanted to make a move to get up to get Jeremiyah Love or something, or Washington, better yet.
Gonna say I doubt it.
Then maybe we can talk about it. Tennessee at number 35.
Didn't think about this for 3 seconds. Denzel Boston. I really do think that it's getting more and more likely that he's going to be here at the top of the second round. Coach Vic Shelton sent this to me in a tweet the other day, and I'm going to speak here the same way I responded to him. I think Boston has done something in the process that has soured certain teams on him. I didn't love that his best tape was against the absolute worst teams they played. And he was non-existent in a couple high-end games. I also kind of look at that offense and go, it was him and Jonah Coleman. I didn't love a lot of the rest of the offense. I'm not holding that as against him as it seems like other people are. And if I'm Tennessee and I've added Denzel Boston, I will look to add a running back at some point in this class. I've added that. I'm going to try to add a tight end too at some point. But I feel pretty good about what I've done in Tennessee.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Top of the third round, number 66.
Tennessee is interesting to me in the fact that they've got so many young pieces on the offense, and I don't know how many I want to go in with the intention of them being starters. Because you've got Ayu Manor that you took last year. You've got DK. You just added Denzel Boston in the second round. I still feel like they need a tight end. And one of the guys that I have kind of it would be great if Eli Stowers would fall to him. He's not going to. It's just not going to happen. I'm going to take what you said about Max Clare. He's a Purdue kid, not an Ohio State tight end, and I'm going to go with Max Clare here at the top of the third round.
Okay.
If you look at him from 2024, he should be ahead of Stowers. He's not, and he is a little light. This would be the lightest tight end room between him and Gunnar Helm probably that we've ever seen. But the kid can play. High-end contested catch rate, and he's one of the few tight ends in this class that can also – he's not a great blocker, but he's at least serviceable.
We're next to do a whole lot at Ohio State.
No, that tends to happen when you have Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah. He just got swallowed up by the other stars on that team. All right, Tennessee's got the first pick in the fourth round. That's 101 overall.
It is. And if I'm Tennessee, I feel like I have addressed several of my biggest needs because I got a wide receiver. I got the linebacker. I got a tight end, which I thought was a high-end need for them. I still feel like I need an edge. I think they need offensive linemen. I don't know that they agree with me in that. And if I'm looking at the way that team is currently constituted, the spot that it just is absolutely screaming at me. You've got to have somebody here as center. So I'm going Jake Slaughter here as well.
Okay.
I always hate doubling up guys in the same division, but I can't help it.
Hey, an A+ is an A+.
I mean, that's just the way it is. I think, and it tends to be that the guys that I double up on in situations like this are guys that I just really like. And I think he ties a lot of these pieces together. Okay. Because, I think Slaughter has virtually no miss in him. And if I'm Tennessee, that's what I need, because you've got a whole mess of guys that you're paying money to that I'm not sure I understand.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then 144, 2 picks later.
Are you a pick ahead of me?
Am I? I'm sorry.
Sonny Styles, Denzel Boston, Max Clear, Jake Slaughter. So we're at 142.
Excuse me, 142. My bad.
This is, and I hate to do this because I don't think this kid will be here. Mm-hmm. I'm going Nicholas Singleton. If the injury is as bad as some people have told me, and it's the tape from last year is souring people on him as much as I have heard, this does fit into where he could end up going. Mm-hmm. I know you're high on Singleton. I've been high on Singleton forever. You look like you wanted to say something there. Anytime I know it's a guy you like, I want to see you.
Yeah, I was gonna agree. I mean, I think Nick Singleton is capable of doing everything on a football field, and if he's healthy, that's an important distinction. So if you have information that you just can't take him in the 4th round, fine. I'll be glad to take a shot on him in the 5th.
I agree with that. I mean, if he's still here, I'm jumping for joy. I mean, if I'm Tennessee and I go Sonny Styles, Denzel Boston, Max Clear, Jake Slaughter, Nick Singleton, I don't care if your last 4 picks are Marvel characters. I'm good.
Yeah. You've done well. Because the other day, we were talking about Tony Pollard. And I don't like Tony Pollard as much as I used to like him. Probably because he's not been on a very good team. But I still don't look at him and go, that's my future. He's my bridge to the next guy. And in the 5th round, Nicholas Singleton could be my star. It would be way too much for me to pass up.
For sure.
All right, and then 144.
Nadeem Tucker, edge rusher out of Western Michigan. I really like this kid. You want to talk about a guy that is the definition of the Kenny Pickett rule? He is the definition of the Kenny Pickett rule. He may be the oldest player ever drafted. He'll be 26 years old before the season starts. I don't think I've ever had one of those. I don't remember one. I say 25 a lot. I have not said 26 many times, if I've ever said it at all.
Tyler Shuck, he was close, wasn't he?
He's 25. He was the last one born in the 90s.
Yes.
But his birthday had not happened yet. I think it happened late last year.
Gotcha.
Nadeem Tucker's is in June.
All right. So then 184, 6th round. We got to speed through these.
Oh, we do. I'm gonna double up at edge and go Kayden Curry, edge rusher from Ohio State. I feel like he's a Robert Saleh guy because even though his arms are short, he has real legit pass rush chops. That in that system, I think he'll be able to be part of a rotation. I don't think he will ever be a great passer. He will be a good situational pass rusher in the right scheme. There's just going to be a lot of teams that don't really see the value in him.
All right, Tennessee picks again at 194.
At some point, I have to, for the better of my own mind, get an offensive lineman. So I'm going Nolan Rucci, offensive tackle out of Penn State. He was a 5-star kid. Just it never really clicked with him. Older kid, too. but developmental swing piece.
And then the final one in the 7th round at 225.
I'm going to go Isaiah. This name's hard for me to say. Nwakobia, kid out of SMU, real hammer coming downhill. And this is maybe I'm letting my experience with Robert Saleh not sour me, but move my mind. Saleh really likes having a guy that can come downhill and thump in that defense. And I don't actively see one that I'm in love with in Tennessee. Tony Adams, before anybody says that name, I got to know him quite well with the Jets. It ain't him.
All right, the A-plus mock draft for the Tennessee Titans. Tomorrow, AFC East A-plus mock drafts. Right back here in the Sportsocracy on ESPN Asheville and everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We will see you then.
ESPN Asheville.
And we're clear.
Your mountain weather forecast.
Indeed.
I know nobody packed away the sweaters and the heavier jackets, or
I'll see you
at
in
least
the
the
studio
long
in the
sleeve
morning.
shirts.
Okay, man.
Sticking around the next several mornings. Probably going to see a 3 as that first number on the car thermometer. Today, 65 for this afternoon. Tonight, mainly clear in the mid-30s. Some spots colder with some patchy frost early Wednesday. Then sunny Wednesday afternoon, low 60s. Thursday, sunshine, 30s again in the morning, upper 60s in the afternoon. Friday, a little patchy frost early, then sunshine, 75. From the Weather Channel, I'm Ray Stage.
This report is sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Every now and then you find a deal that actually feels like a win. With Straight Talk Wireless, you get more and pay less. Now that's a good deal. No contracts, no credit checks, no surprises, all on Verizon's 5G network. Find it in the same place you've always found straightforward prices, exclusively at Walmart and StraightTalk.com.
It's Matt and Bowen. If you've ever had an opinion about a celebrity, a movie, or a random woman on TikTok, this podcast is for you.
Listen to Las Culturistas on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you prevent wildfires.
Dude, I've got this. I've been camping since I was 5 years old. But I am a camping influencer. You know what? I'll bet you $5. Assistant Smokey, what is the best way to put out a campfire?
To put out a campfire, drown with water, stir, drown again. Then make sure the fire is out cold by feeling with the back of your hand.
Wait, really?
I'll take the $5.
Learn more at SmokeyBear.com.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
It's sad that civil discourse in the political world is rare. Hard to have conversations and just agree to disagree or even hear each other out. Just two sides sit down and settle it out over a pint. Well, that's what our Politics and Pints event on April the 16th is all about. Join Mark Starling and myself at Cultivated Cocktails, 161 Charlotte Highway. We'll have special guests to help steer the discussion. Keep listening to News Radio 570 WWNC for details.
Clarissa sells WNC as the #1 team in Buncombe County. We have the customer service experience to assist you in achieving your real estate goals. Our team offers something that 90% of listings in our market won't have, Zillow Showcase. Check us out at clarissasellswnc.com.
At Ingles, we know that fresh means local. The best ingredients don't come from a world away. They come from your own backyard. From the farms we support, to the stores we love, to the tables you treasure. Ingles, we're with you every step of the way.
This is ESPN Asheville, Asheville's #1 sports station.
Coming up the middle on a blitz, he throws to the end zone, touchdown!
Beer City's Tar Heel station.
Off the back, Wilson comes soaring in to dunk it home.
Home of the Sportsocracy.
He said, Kyle Shanahan asked, why isn't tic-tac-toe named Hugs and Kisses? Now that's all Tech's going to call it.
Live from the Ingles studio, weekdays at noon, ESPN Asheville. The Sportsocracy.
These guys are a f***ing disgrace.
I'm Coley Duffy.
I'm Cody Ward.
And
we're the Chainsaw Brothers.
Actually, we're cousins. A few days after Helene, we was in the driveway having a couple beers, waiting on the power to come back on. And we heard so many people calling, needing trees removed, and couldn't afford it.
So I called my dad to borrow a chainsaw, and over the next few months, we cleared trees for our neighbors. Our business was born out of wanting to help Western North Carolina get back on our feet.
We are fully insured and licensed. We keep our promises, meaning if we say we're going to be there, we'll be there. In these parts, we live how we were raised.
When you call the Chainsaw Brothers, you're not a customer, you're family. We're good at what we do, and we do it for a reasonable cost.
For all your chainsaw needs, call the Chainsaw Brothers. 828-316-1013. Or find us on Facebook. See how we treat our family.
Are you still covered up with storm damage and debris?
Call us about our daily rates at 828-316-1013. That's 828-316-1013. We're the Chainsaw Brothers, and with our neighbors, we are Western North Carolina strong.
Woohoo! News Radio 570 WWNC, now on FM. Yeah, we're now on AM and FM. It's too much news for one band. News Radio 570 WWNC, now on 92.9 FM.
The following program were pre-recorded.
ESPN Asheville.
Yeah.
WPEK Fairview. WMXF Waynesville. An iHeart radio station. Guaranteed human.